for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. It is finally here. This is maybe the most anticipated NBA Finals since the Cavs and Warriors days. You got the San Antonio Spurs on one side with Victor Wembanyama. You have the New York Knicks on the other side with Jalen Brunson. They have won 11 consecutive playoff games. Game one of that series gets going on later today. We got a lot of basketball to talk about. Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1 is going to join us on the show coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Also at the 4 o'clock hour, Michelle Beadle is going to be on the show. Michelle Beadle was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. We are going to get her thoughts on her San Antonio Spurs as they get ready for the NBA Finals. We'll also take a nostalgic trip down memory lane because I don't know about you guys, I used to love Sports Nation with her and Colin Cowherd. We'll talk about that. We'll get her thoughts on the NBA Finals coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We got a lot to get into in today's show. We are going to begin with a little bit of basketball. I'll also have some Royals thoughts that I want to sprinkle in as well. Yesterday, I watched my first episode of Love Island, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I kind of enjoyed it. Wasn't really that bad. We'll talk about it. We got a lot to get into in today's show. Before we do that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. Number three, and most importantly, I need you to go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place. Every Monday through Friday from 11 to 3 o'clock, they have 12 separate lunch specials. So maybe you want to get a slice of pizza, maybe you want to get a soup, maybe you want to get a salad, maybe you want to get a burger, maybe you want to get a sandwich, a sub. They got 12 different lunch specials, all priced at $8.99. Please go see our friends over at The Other Place. Go stop in, grab yourself some lunch. All right. I want to split the open up. Yes, we are going to talk about the Royals at 2 o'clock. That means we have to give you a random lineup. Just because the Royals are 15 games under 500 doesn't mean that we break protocol on what we do on this show. But let's start with the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals, to me, seems like it really comes down to one question. Is Victor Wembanyama's time now or is it later? Because a lot of great superstars have gotten to the NBA Finals very early on in their career. LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, just to name a couple. Those guys bumped their head early on. Now, I would say in the same way that we knew LeBron was eventually going to win a championship, the same way that we knew Shaquille O'Neal eventually was going to win a championship, I feel that exact same way about Victor Wembanyama. I have never been more sure of a basketball player at some point in my life that will one day be able to stand at the top of the mountain and say, I am the greatest and our team is the greatest, more than I felt that way about Victor Wembanyama. But on the other side, and what I think makes this series so intriguing, what I think makes this series so interesting is there's just something about this Knicks team that's fun to watch. You've got Jalen Brunson, this 6'1" point guard who has been a winner his entire career. You've got a group of players who played together through college and are now on the same NBA team together. You have a city behind them that is obsessed with basketball. You've got celebrity culture behind them. It just feels like it's the Knicks' time right now. Now, I think the Spurs are the favorite heading into this series for a good reason. We saw them go on the road in Game 1 and beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. We saw them go on the road in Game 7. If we are going player for player, I think the Spurs are the more talented roster out of these two teams. I think the Spurs are the better team. That doesn't really seem to matter to the New York Knicks. And sometimes it's just your year and everything purposely aligns for you to be able to do these things. You know who the Knicks kind of remind me of? I don't think it's a one-to-one comparison, but follow me. The Knicks kind of remind me of the Royals in 2014 and 2015. Now, I understand we're talking big market and small market. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. But if you remember, that Royals team didn't have a traditional superstar, but had some great players. I think Jalen Brunson is amazing, but he's not really your traditional superstar in the way that we kind of view them in a Kobe, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron sense. He's not one of those guys, but everybody acknowledges that Jalen Brunson is a phenomenal basketball player. So they don't really have a traditional superstar, but what the Knicks do have is they just got a lot of guys who are in between the ages of 25 and 28 years old, all playing their best basketball at the exact perfect time. So whether that's Jalen Brunson, whether that's Mikal Bridges, whether that's OG Anunoby, whether that's Josh Hart, whether it is whomever you want to say on that Knicks team, they got all of those guys at the right time on that team with a similar mentality, all bought into the exact same thing. That sounds like the Royals in 2015. The Royals weren't the most talented team. I don't know if the Knicks are the most talented team in the NBA. But you know what the Royals had? They had Hosmer and Kane and Moustakis and Salvi, and they just had a bunch of 25 to 28-year-old guys who loved each other, who loved their city, and were all pushing in the same direction and all believed in the exact same dream. That's just kind of like how this Knicks team is. Now, I understand I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth because, honestly, I'm going into this series. I am completely neutral. I'm really stuck on who I want to see win this because on one side, I want to see the New York Knicks win a championship just to see what Instagram and social media is going to look like if the Knicks win a championship. I'm sure it will be pandemonium. I also want to see if Victor Wembanyama can kind of skip the line a little bit. As I alluded to, most young superstars early on usually bump their head from Michael Jordan to LeBron, Kevin Durant's first time in the NBA Finals. Usually you get there and the sports gods tell you your time is coming. It's just not right now. But Victor Wembanyama has defied that basically this entire time. He defied that in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. He defied that in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. Now I would say he has time to slay one more dragon. It's the New York Knicks. It's a team right now that is playing well as any team has in the history of the NBA playoffs. They won 11 consecutive games. Can they do it? I think that's the question. Is Wemby's time now, or is he going to have to wait a little bit in order to get his first championship? Step one of that is coming up later today in the NBA Finals. Let's talk a little bit about the Kansas City Royals. I'm going to personalize this first example. I remember when I first started doing this, and they told me, you know, you're not going to have a co-host. It's just going to be you and your thoughts. And I remember, man, the show it moved so fast. It was just everything happened. I got to think about 15 things at one time. And as I got better at it, I feel it started to get a lot slower, and I started to get a much better feel and grasp of the show, what worked for me, what worked for you guys, what worked for Rob, and our workflow and synergy. And now the show is a lot less scripted than it used to be. I mean, every single 5-10 minutes, I had a plan, and it was going to go here. I don't do that as much anymore, and I feel that the show is better for it because I've gained an understanding on what the show is and how the show works. Let me equate this to the Royals. I don't think Matt Cutraro has a really good feel for his team. I don't. I think the Royals are really, really hell-bent on an algorithm and a computer. And the computer can tell you and answer a lot of things. Nobody's saying that the computer cannot be a guide. If you use ChatGPT can be a really good baseline. But there are ways that humans speak. There are ways that humans think. There are ways that humans research and look things up. That there is always just going to be a limitation that the computer has. That sometimes you just need a human touch. And you can tell when the idea comes from a computer versus when it comes from a person and its brain and the way that people think and flow and synergy. We have this conversation in football all the time about going for it on first down or whether you punt or kick or go for a field goal. You can see when an algorithm tells you to go for it, or when a coach like Dan Campbell just says, this is our philosophy, this is how we operate, this is the culture that I'm trying to build, this is our plan. As long as Matt Quatraro has been the manager of the Royals, he just doesn't really seem to have a good flow and synergy of what works for him or his team. Not when it comes to lineup construction and what's working and what's not working. Hey, maybe this 3 and 4 thing isn't working. Maybe we got to switch it up a little bit. Doesn't always seem to have a really good feel with the bullpen and who needs to be out there and who doesn't need to be out there. Hey, maybe we shouldn't put Estevez out there today. Look at his velocity. Maybe we should dial it back. Hey, Lucas Urseg, something's a little bit up today. Hey, maybe we got to go in a different direction. There is just a feel to it. For example, I used up the 2014 Royals. I'll bring them back here. You could tell that Ned Yost had a really good feel for baseball. It might not always be conventional wisdom, and it certainly went against the algorithm, and at times he made the wrong decision. I mean, in the 2014 wildcard game, putting Yordano Ventura in that moment was the wrong decision. But you could tell that Ned, over time, developed a system. He developed a philosophy that worked for him, and he perfected it in a way that not only worked for him, but worked for his team to get the most out of it. I don't know if the Royals have that kind of manager. Maybe this is just me nitpicking because of how they lost yesterday, but I feel like this has been a trend. This has been a theme that has just popped up over the course of the last couple of months, over the last couple of years. Hey, why did you make that decision? And their default is always, that's what the analytics tell us. That's what the numbers tell us. Well, sometimes the computer is wrong. Sometimes you need a person to go in there and say, oh, well, let me fix it. Let me type it in. I don't care how good the self-checkout is. It somehow always seems to mess up, and a person has to come override the computer. Sometimes I think the Royals need a person, a human being, someone with a feel, someone with a touch, someone with that je ne sais quoi, so to speak, to be able to reprogram it. And I don't know if that's who they have as their manager. Maybe that's something that develops over time. Sometimes people just figure it out. Sometimes things click. But as this season continues to spiral out of control, there are a lot of problems, no question. And everything is not the manager's fault. It has been the offensive time. It's been starting pitching. It's been injuries. It's been the bullpen. I mean, this has been a true season for hell so far for the Royals. One of their problems is their manager just doesn't seem to have a very organic feel of how to maximize his team. We'll get back to the NBA here in the NBA Finals that's coming up later today, but you guys know the rules. If we start with the Royals, it can only mean one thing. Hit me, Rob.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
Carrington, today's Random Royals lineup takes us back to the year 2001, where on this date in Royals history, shockingly, the Royals lost to the then Anaheim Angels. Here was your Random Royals lineup. Leading off in center field, Carlos Beltran.
I'm starting to think that you purposely look for lineups that have Carlos Beltran or David DeJesus in them.
One cheater, one Royals Hall of Famer. Two great center fielders. Batting second, the shortstop, Ray Sanchez.
It's a dark time in Royals history.
Batting third at first base, Mike Sweeney. Batting fourth in right field, Jermaine Dye. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Joe Randa. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, D. Brown.
This is my kind of Royals here.
This gets bad quick, because batting seventh at second base, Luis Alcia. Batting eighth, the catcher, A.J. Hinch. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Indy Chavez. By the way, the Royals lost today because their starter, Max Suzuki, went 2 2/3, giving up 5 earned runs, and the Royals lost on this date in 2001 to the then Anaheim Angels.
Coming up on the other side, we have an update of Rob's quest to get Kansas baseball tickets. We'll tell you where we are. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, rock star. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is your job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
When you're ready to paint your home, you want it done right the first time. That's why I trust CertaPro Painters. They aren't just a service. They're local professionals with over 70,000 five-star reviews. From the detailed proposal to the final brushstroke, the entire process was completely worry-free. Get professional painting at the right price. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City, so you're dealing with local. It's CertaPro.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament over on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. For me in particular, I'll be honest, I kind of like going the standard, where I can trade France at 17.9%. Meaning a $100 investment could see $5.59 in return, or even Spain at 16.8%. On Kalshi, you're trading against your peers in a live market, meaning there is no house, and the probability changes. You can buy in and out of your position as you see. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new family-friendly features. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen from the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
All right. I want to get back to the NBA Finals. We'll do that here in a bit. I have to read this text. Guys, I know that this is off topic. Today is my 21st birthday. Could you guys tell me happy birthday? Absolutely. Happy birthday, man. I hope you have a phenomenal day. The second thing I would like to do is give you guys an update. So a couple of days ago, we had the manager coach for Kansas baseball. He came on the show, and this is what he said.
Rob needs to be a baseball season ticket holder then. Let's get it done, Rob.
Well, you know what happened, Coach? Let me tell you what happened. Rob tried to call over there and tried to use some radio clout to get some tickets for this weekend, and he was basically told, you got to go through the same process as everybody else. So he's a little salty right now that he had to watch last weekend on TV.
Rob's got my cell now, so we'll take care of him.
So Kansas ended up advancing. Oklahoma won. That means this weekend KU is the home team for the Super Regionals. And I'm doing my part to try to make sure that Rob is in the building. Rob loves KU, went to Kansas, football season ticket holder, basketball season ticket holder, bandwagon baseball fan. He wants to be in attendance. Rob, where do we currently sit? What's the update? Can you let us know the progress that has been made to getting this done? The first game's on Saturday.
So the update is there is no progress, but there is a quasi-update. I would say the update is there is no update. The belief is there will be more information about tickets available later in the week, perhaps Thursday or Friday. So
hold on, time out. I got information from the person with Kansas Athletics or information in general. Everybody is going to have more information on tickets at the end of the week. Is this the person saying, hey, I'll let you know if I can help you one way or the other at the end of the week? Or they're just going to send you the link to where you can get in the same line as everybody else? We're asking for you to be able to skip the line. We don't want you to be in the same line as everyone else.
I'll say this. I read it as I'm going to get more information ahead of people in the week. I had not considered the way you just said it, and it hurt a little bit to hear that as a possibility. I read it as we'll have more information for you, the person texting, at the end of the week.
Can you read us the text? I mean, we're not reading some secret. I mean, it's not like you guys are sharing some secret information that we can't divulge in public. When you reached out to the KU person to try to get these tickets figured out, and you went through the spiel, I told you, you're not asking for free. You just want a chance to buy them at face value.
Although free is for me. If they want to give free, I'm not going to say no. But I understand free's not available. I said, what's the deal with the tickets? Sent the whole spiel. They said, we'll have more information later in the week. But as of now, no new info.
That's it.
I read that as I'm going to get special info later in the week.
Okay.
You seem to read it differently than I did.
No, I'm just making sure that you don't get played. I mean, they've already played you one time. Why do you think they won't keep playing you? They played you last week when you hit them up.
I'm thinking that maybe Thursday it might be time to text Dan Fitzgerald and be like, Danny, what's up,
Thursday,
big dog?
That's tomorrow.
What's up, big dog?
Because from what the text line is telling me, the tickets go on sale Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So
later in the week, though, there's a lot of ambiguity
for sure.
there.
But I'm saying is if you don't have your tickets by Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning when they go on sale, you're done. I'm here to tell you right now, you're cooked. They ain't got no special tickets waiting just for you. So they're either going to help you tomorrow or they're not helping you.
Could be $9.59 on Friday the help comes.
I don't know.
Helps help, Carrington.
No, I'm here to help you. I'm on your side. We're pulling for you. Everybody is on your side. 913-586-7965. Everybody is on your side. Now, I did see a little bit of information from Mike Vernon. Shout out to Mike Vernon, friend of the show, that this is how they're doing the hierarchy for the seats. They're going to do season ticket holders. Seems like you should have been on that train a long time ago. It's $80. You could have spent $80 and you could have had access to these tickets, but you didn't want to support Kansas athletics any more than you already do.
I'm going to say, I'm pretty financially invested already, but you're right. I probably messed that up.
I also saw that if you donated $1,000 to the baseball program, they would help you get tickets. That's a sizable donation, I would say, for a baseball program. You make $1,000.
It's larger than
now,
a basketball
I'm willing to make
donation.
a deal right now. I'll put in $5 towards your donation, but it's going to come with some provisions.
I can already tell I hate them.
Okay, I'm just saying I'm willing to cut your donation cost in half right now. You can even reach out to KU. Hey, Carrington says he'll donate $500 to Kansas Athletics, but trust me, Rob, the $500 I'm going to give you, you're going to have to work for the $500. It's not going to be just a gift and, oh, thanks, Carrington, you're a great guy. No, you're going to have to work for it. If it was $200 to get you just to say M-I-Z, you don't want to know what $500 is going to get you on this show. You're going to be dressed like Truman the Tiger playing around with me. I'm willing to help. I'm willing to, if they say you got to donate $1,000, I'm willing to pay for half of the donation so you can go to this. But trust me, it will come with you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to earn that $500 for the show.
I will say, no disrespect to KU Athletics, I would donate. I do donate money to them. That $500 from you has too many stipulations. I would just pay the $5 to StubHub before I do the $5 to you.
Okay.
Although the $5 to you, I'd put your name on a brick outside of Allen. Carrington Harrison, 965 The Fan, donator. So people can see it all the time.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind it. I'm just saying if that's what I'm willing to do that. So if you want to reach back out to KU, if you want to reach back out and you want to tell them that we're willing to make the $1,000 donation in order to get you the tickets, I'm happy to contribute. But I want you to know that the $500, you will be dressed up as a Missouri Tiger mascot for the $500, and you will be on the stream. Which, that's a small price to pay to go to the game if you want to go to the game. It's a small price.
It's crazy. I can already tell you the stream's not going to work that day.
No, it's going to work for me. It's going to work for me. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's what I want. I'll give you the $5, but we're reaching out to Mizzou, and you're dressing up like Truman on the stream. And is it worth it? Is it worth it to you to do that in order to go watch your team? Sacrifices must be made.
Or I could just make the sacrifice and pay that same $5 straight to SeatGeek and not have to dress up like Truman the Tiger.
I don't know. Somebody says they think that's the last reply you're going to get. Someone says the next time that you reply to Kansas tomorrow when it's time to get the update on the seats, somebody's saying you're going to be left on red. That's what the text line's saying. I'm not saying that. I think they're going to look out for you. I think they're going to support. We support them. They should support us.
I'm going to start really schmoozing. Text all of them. Be like, you guys are all great at your job. Elite.
Okay. Text line 913. I'm sure that we could put a little GoFundMe together to help get you to the game. Again, I'll pay for half of the donation with some provisions in place.
That's the provisions that have me worried.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know. You think that it's giving free money out? What do you think this is? You think there's people just giving money away? I'm not going to the game. You want to go to the game.
You're telling me you're not Salvation Army, Dot?
No, I just think this is a drive stimulus package. There's better uses for $500. But you know what? You're my friend. I love you. I want you to be happy. And if that's all it costs for you to be happy, great. I'm not getting you a Christmas gift. You spent Christmas. Christmas came in June on the drive. I hope you know that. Text line 913-586-7965. Coming up at the top of the hour, I actually want to talk about the Madden cover. And I think the Madden cover asks one of the great questions in sports. We'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. Rob, can we talk about the Knicks just for a little bit longer? This is the point I want to make about the Knicks. I'll use a music analogy for this. Everybody thinks that they have another hit. Everybody thinks that. Everybody thinks that when you're on the charts, you're going to keep up this success and you're going to have this long, great career. And some people end up doing that. Some people are like Patrick Mahomes. You went to one championship, then you went to another championship, then you went to another one. You just keep going to them. All of a sudden, you got a residency in the Super Bowl. You've been to 5 of them. That's the case for some people. But there is a certain group of athletes, you get one chance at a ring. You get your Matt Ryan opportunity. You get your Cam Newton opportunity. You get your Jimmy Butler. You get one chance to make it to the NBA Finals. That might be Giannis. That might be Nikola Jokic. You get one opportunity. And when you get there, when you get your chance, you got to win a championship because there is absolutely no guarantee that you will be back in this position. I like this Knicks team. I know we play this game all the time that, oh man, look at your roster and you got all these 20-somethings. Of course you'll be back. That is not always the case, especially not in the NBA. Because I remember a conversation we were having about a team in the 90s that had the greatest center of all time and a point guard that looked like Magic Johnson. They went to one NBA Finals. They got swept. Next thing we know, Penny blew his knees out, and Shaq went to go play in Los Angeles with Kobe Bryant, and the Magic were done if that was the case. I remember there was a team in Oklahoma City that had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. All three of those guys won NBA MVP. They were all on the same team. They went to the NBA Finals. They lost. Rob, remember that iconic moment where all three of them are just huddled up together like, man, they're gonna be back, man. They'll be back. They never went back. Not together. Sometimes the moment that you were in, that's your one opportunity to win. The Knicks, I don't know if the Knicks are gonna be back. I feel pretty confident the Spurs will be back in the NBA Finals. I don't know exactly when, but that team, that roster, with that player, they'll get another chance to go. I don't know if the Knicks got another opportunity. I don't think Jalen Brunson wins 3 rings. I think he has a chance to win 1 ring. And we see, I don't know, honestly, if there's a significant value in winning 2 rings as opposed to winning 1. There is a drastic difference in winning 1 than having 0. The way we talk about Dirk Nowitzki is different. The way we would talk about Steve Nash if he had 1 championship would be radically different than the fact that he has none. The gap from 1 to 0 is much different than the gap from 1 to 2. I think you then got to get to 3 ultimately for it to matter when you start to talk about that upper echelon, higher tier conversation. We would never have conversations about Isaiah Thomas if he didn't have those ones with the Pistons. We never would talk about him. Great player, don't get me wrong. You would never have those conversations about him. But you can't have conversations without talking about the bad boy Pistons and the run that they had. That's how Jalen Brunson can be. That Mavericks team that beat the Heat, that had Jason Kidd and Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Terry. We still talk about that team because they won the championship. This Knicks team, it will be a fun run. Nobody outside of New York will talk about this team. Nobody outside of New York will remember this team if they don't win 4 more games here over the next 2 weeks. So I hope the Knicks play with that sense of urgency, and I hope they understand the moment. You got 1 shot to win this championship.
I think what happens, and I'm not saying this will happen with the Knicks, but it kind of happened with the Thunder. It happened with the Magic. It happens. We see it in the NFL. People think, oh, we'll be back. No doubt, we'll be back. And teams don't go back. I think what happens is teams that are the Matt Ryan Falcons, teams that are the Cam Newton Panthers, teams that are, that team, the pick one of the one and done type of teams. The minute they lose a championship, right, wrong, or indifferent, they convince themselves they're the Chiefs. They convince themselves they're the Spurs. They convince themselves they're the Dodgers. Hey, we are 1 step away. We are clearly great. We are clearly good. We will be back. And it does not always work out for those teams. But I feel like, and this actually applies to the Royals in modern times, teams fail to look at themselves in the mirror and recognize what you are. Hey, everything broke right. It won't break right again. You got to kind of tear down and replenish. That's kind of what the Rams have done a couple times by hemorrhaging picks. There's been 3 or 4 iterations of the Rams. I think teams like the Knicks don't view it as 1 shot because they feel like we're right there. Clearly, it's about to come back to our way, but they're wrong more often than they're right.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, plenty of great athletes never even get 1 shot at a championship. There are no certainties in sports. Yeah, I don't know if the NBA really works that way. I mean, there are too many all-time great basketball players that have never played in the NBA Finals. I understand football's a little bit different. Like, we can use the Dan Marino, like the Phillip Rivers, because Marino played in 1. Rivers, Josh Allen hasn't played for 1. The NBA is a little bit different. Like, if you go through whoever you think are the top 50 players in the NBA, you normally get 1 chance. Allen Iverson got 1 chance at a ring. Now, I mean, he went up against maybe the best team of the 21st century in the 01 Lakers, But most all-time greats, you get one chance. I'm not saying that's what Jalen Brunson is, but I think Jalen Brunson has clearly shown he has been underestimated basically his entire life and his entire career. From high school to college to Dallas to the Knicks, everybody has underestimated Jalen Brunson, and he just led a team to the NBA Finals. And they got a realistic, genuine chance of winning this. I think the great athletes never getting a shot at a championship is much more of a football conversation than a basketball one. Every great player gets a chance at a championship. Maybe your team loses in the finals. Barkley lost in the finals. Iverson lost in the finals. We can think of guys that got there. Chris Paul. We can think there. Most all-time greats in the league, you at least get one chance to play in the NBA Finals.
And that's just the nature of the sport, because we use college basketball more on this show than pro basketball. One player just changes the face of a team, a franchise, a roster, because there's only 5 on the floor. So, like, if you have one elite one, everything changes. So it's not surprising that the NBA and NFL are different in this regard. I do think the text line's right, though, in the fact that there are a lot of players in sports, maybe not stars, who strive to just get to the one, and they fall. Good role players, too. Like, Karl-Anthony Towns is a good player in the NBA. This is his first chance. He's not a star, but you thought, oh, great player in college, he'll get to one. This is his first. That exists more often than, you know, guys who make 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I just think that conversation is much more of a quarterback conversation than it is really about anything else. I understand, like, you're 100% right. Like, Phillip Rivers, I think, is a great quarterback. Never got there. We could think of other great quarterbacks. That's much more of a QB conversation, I think, in football than really any other position. Like, I don't really, like, it was Barry Sanders' fault. The Lions didn't make it to a Super Bowl. Like, Barry Sanders was amazing. You run for 2,000 yards and average 5 yards a carry on that Lions team where they know you're the focal point, and you're great. We just all got to acknowledge that you're great. C-Dot, what's your prediction for the finals? Who wins in how many games? I think the Spurs are going to win in 6. This is why I'm picking the Spurs. But I want the Knicks to win. I think the Spurs are going to win I just think they have the best player in the series in Victor Wembanyama, and I think that will shine through in this series. And I think they just have enough bodies to be able to throw at Brunson to make him uncomfortable for a good portion of the series. They really made Shai Gilgeous-Alexander work. They just got a lot of guys. They got a lot of guys to throw at Brunson and to really just wear him down over the course of it. I think the Spurs are a little bit deeper. I think they're a little bit more talented than the Knicks. I think the Spurs are going to win the championship. I think they win in 6 games.
Do you subscribe to the theory that the East has been the JV tournament and that the varsity has been the West? Because there's an argument because of that, the Spurs have been so beat up physically that they're tired, while the Knicks have been sitting around sipping Mai Tais on Staten Island.
I think we'll know tonight. Like, if you subscribe to that, and I've heard a lot of people say that, then the Knicks need to win game 1. You got to win game 1 then. You breeze through the Eastern Conference playoffs. Breeze through it. You now head into the NBA Finals. You are completely well-rested. This is one you can get, to me. The Spurs come off a super emotional Game 7 win on the road. Wemby's taking pictures for the cover the next NBA 2K. Like, the Spurs were celebrating like a team that had achieved it, that they had won. And I get it. You won a Game 7 on the road against your rival. I understand it. The Knicks, it was much more business as usual, matter of fact. Hey, we're going to keep this thing going. If the Knicks are capable of what you think they are, they need to win tonight. You got to steal game 1, and you just got to set the tone, and you got to have the Spurs playing on their heels in this series. You got to have them playing on their heels. And taking game 1, that goes a long way. Kind of what happened in the series between the Spurs and the Thunder. We thought the Thunder were going to win that series. Game 1, you go into their building and win, you start talking about them a little bit differently if that ends up being the case. So I think the Spurs in 6. I just think that's the correct side. I think that's the right side to be on. Coming up at the top of the hour, the Madden cover is out. Speaking of video games, Caleb Williams is on the cover. And I don't know. I think that the Madden cover asks one of the greatest questions you can ask in sports. We'll get to that at the top of the hour. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast. Available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
The NBA season is winding down. Who do you think is going to be wearing the ring at the end of the season? Well, take your best shot with FanDuel, and you just might be celebrating a victory of your own this NBA Finals. Right now, new customers can hit the hardwood with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting just $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Individual player markets like baskets, rebounds, or you can build an epic same-game parlay for your chance to hit it big in the NBA Finals. And with FanDuel, you get paid out instantly when you win. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to join now and get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
This active storm season has made an impact on Kansas City roofs, and at Century Roofing, we're busier than ever. To keep up with demand, our award-winning team is now hiring loaders and repair technicians. We offer great pay, a strong team, immediate openings, and room to grow with our KC-based, female-owned company, trusted for over 35 years. Apply in person or online today at centuryroofingkc.com. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is your job for Sponsored Jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
This afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 84.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, let's transition to a little bit of football here. First thing is, Rob, I don't know if you saw, but Kayshon Boutte, who plays for the New England Patriots, he is asking for a trade. Is he a player that you would be interested in? Is he a player that you think the Chiefs would be interested in? I'm assuming the acquisition cost is not going to be that significant for him. He is on a final year of a rookie contract. He's been a good player. He would fit that wide receiver 3 role, give you a little bit more certainty, certainly give you a little bit more protection. Is that somebody you'd be willing to make a conversation for, to possibly make a trade for?
I'd be willing to have a conversation, but I'm curious if Kayshon Boutte thinks I'm not a number 3 in New England, is he cool being a number 3 here? Like, maybe not wide receiver 3. You can make the argument maybe he'd be ahead of Xavier Worthy on the depth chart.
I don't even know if he's going to be their number 3 when you think about all the moves that they make. He's probably a wide receiver 4, maybe a wide receiver 5 for them now if you kind of look at the moves that they've made this offseason. He just might be the out man looking in.
Yeah, but I'm like, is he so good and the Patriots receiver room so good that their 4th, 5th guy would be a 2 or 3 here? I don't know. So I don't know he'd be happy in Kansas City because a lot of the same problem. Your pass catcher or weapon number 5 in New England, you're kind of the same in Kansas City. So I would be interested, but I don't know he'd be interested.
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs would be really interested because I'm assuming that's the role that they think Tyquan Thornton is. Like, I don't know if I'm assuming whatever Kayshon Boutte can give you, that's what the Chiefs think they can get from Tyquan Thornton. So I don't know if they're trading a draft pick for that, but I mean, he's been a guy that's given you 500 yards in each of the last 2 seasons. He's been a pretty reliable player, rookie deal. Again, I'm assuming the acquisition cost is pretty low. It's probably, a 5th or a 6th round pick, maybe a pick swap for him as a player. I mean, hasn't been great. He's on the final year of a deal. He hasn't been showing up to any of the offseason stuff. I mean, he's going to be traded to somewhere. The question is just kind of where is he going to be traded to? So there was a story on Sports Illustrated website from Connor Orr, good NFL writer, and it was 100 bold predictions for the seasons. So you know what? I just skipped through it and I just looked up only the Chiefs stuff. You guys don't care about every single one of his predictions. What does he have to say about your team? Well, Rob, he had 2 that would concern Chiefs fans. Number 1, this is how he sees the order going in the AFC West. Chargers 13-4, Broncos and Chiefs both 11-6, Raiders at 7-10. I don't think the Chargers are winning 13 games this year.
I'm not saying they will either, but why? I think the Chargers are quietly had a really good offseason. I don't think they are, cream of the crop in the AFC, and I don't think they're a 13-win team, but I definitely think they have a lot more to have Chiefs fans frightened than I think people lead on.
Yeah, there's a stretch here with Los Angeles where, they're going to tell us how good they are. Now, the Chargers start the season with Arizona and Las Vegas. Both of those games are at home. Not that they really have the greatest home field advantage, but you can't win both of those games. What are we doing here? Listen to this stretch. At Buffalo, at Seattle, home against Denver, on the road against Kansas City, at the Rams, home against Houston, on the road against Baltimore. That's a difficult 7-game stretch. I don't know if the Chargers are going 13-4, and then I didn't even get to the second half of the schedule where you play New England. You go on the road to Tampa Bay. You play San Francisco. You still got to play Kansas City and Denver. 13-4 in this division this year, where I think the Chiefs are going to be significantly better. I also think the Raiders will be better, and I don't mean like in a sense I think they're making the playoffs. I don't think the Raiders are going to have the number 1 overall pick like they did last season. 13-4 just seems like a very lofty number to win the AFC West.
13-4 is way too high, but I think people are writing off the Chargers a little too quickly because they're the Chargers, but I think they are going to be a really good team in 2026.
The other bold prediction he had is that Stephon Diggs is either going to come to Kansas City or the Rams. This is the blurb. The 32-year-old veteran who played in every game last season had more than 85 catches and had 4 touchdowns. He would be a valuable number 3 option for Sean McVay or a trusted fill-in in Kansas City as the team navigates the increasing unreliability of Rashee Rice. That is the one part about this that I don't want to be left holding the bag in October and November with the I told you so mentality, because the writing does feel like it's on the wall in some aspect with Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, that just making sure you got one extra bullet in the chamber could potentially save you a lot of heartbreak toward the end of the year. I'm on your side. Now, I still want Cam Jordan. That would still be my number 1, but with Diggs and Tyreek Hill and Keenan Allen and a bunch of these veteran wide receivers and Deebo Samuel that's still available, man, I think you might owe it to yourself if you're Kansas City on a 1-year, $5 million deal to bring one of these guys in and give you a little bit of insurance. You know an injury is going to happen. You know something's going to happen with the wide receiver room. Why not be ready for it? If you know you're going on vacation and you know you got some kids, man, you better pack a first aid kit. You never know what could happen. Why not just be prepared for it in case something goes wrong? It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, I always say.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir. I do wonder about the cap, though, when we talk about the Chiefs making these moves to, as insurance policies, first aid kits, what we're going to talk about. Like, they had to maneuver some money to get their draft picks paid. It's not like they're flush with cash. Now, I know there's a lot of ways to maneuver and manipulate the cap, but the Chiefs, it's June 3rd, and they haven't been doing a lot of that movement and manipulation. You know as well as I do, June 1 is a accounting, department's field day. They can do all sorts of fun things in the NFL. And the Chiefs, to our knowledge, didn't do that. So I agree with you, but do the Chiefs agree with you? Because they haven't moved the capital around to make it seem like they feel the same way you feel.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's certainly the case. I mean, we're talking about a pretty small amount of money. So if they want to do it, they'll be able to do it, I think. Coming up in the 3 o'clock hour, Danny Parkins is going to be on the show. We're going to get you ready for game 1 of the NBA Finals. Also, Michelle Beadle is going to be on the show. She was born and raised in San Antonio. We will have her on the show to have a little ESPN nostalgia. We'll also get her thoughts on the NBA Finals and if she thinks her Spurs are going to take the chip. Here's Brian Windhorst earlier today. He was on ESPN's Get Up. He thinks it's Wemby's time.
There's 3 pathways here that from my lifetime. Shaquille O'Neal, 3rd year, got the Magic to the finals. Jordan had a lot left in him, but when that happened, you could see that the future was going to belong to Shaq, and he went to 6 of the next 11 finals. LeBron James, in his 4th year, 2007, gets to the finals. They weren't ready to win. He needed a couple of more years and a change, but he went to 11 out of 14 finals. Okay, it became LeBron James' era. Victor Wembanyama, 3rd year, age 22. I feel the same way. I believe we are entering the Victor Wembanyama era. How deep it'll go? Stay tuned.
I can't really disagree with the logic. I've told you guys, I hate when we keep throwing out this term generational prospect. There ain't really been that many generational prospects. There have not been that many absolute can't miss, franchise, superstar kind of guys, phenoms that enter the league. I think there's 3, possibly 4. He mentioned 3 of them. Shaq, LeBron, Wemby. I'll listen to a Tim Duncan argument. Just everybody knew Tim Duncan was going to be a star in the league. He joined the league and instantly turned out to be one of the best bigs in the league. I'll listen on Duncan. That's kind of it if we're talking about those kind of generational prospects. But what I think is interesting is Bron lost his first finals. Shaq lost his first finals. I believe Bron got swept in his first finals. Maybe I'm wrong.
Spurs,
I know that
they swept him.
The Spurs swept the Cavs. And the Magic, they got swept as well in their first NBA Finals. Now, I don't think the Knicks are sweeping the San Antonio Spurs, but there is definitely a history of all-time great, get to that first finals. It's a learning experience, and then they take that, and then they just run with it and dominate the next course of time. Are we going to potentially see that when it comes to Victor Wembanyama? Coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to talk a little bit of football. Let's keep the football conversation going. The cover of Madden was released today, and Caleb Williams is on it. What do I think that means? I'll explain. Keep it right here, it's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan. When When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character to nominate today.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's. All summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Water backing up? Drains slowing down? It's only going to get worse. Head off bigger problems with a $79 mainline drain cleaning from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Plus, a free video camera inspection to pinpoint exactly where that clog is. We'll clear the problem the right way and get your home back to normal. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
By Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here for Renner Garage Door, America's oldest family-owned garage door company, serving both wholesale and retail markets. Free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door.
RENNER. The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
All
right, so I know that not all of you play video games. I haven't played a game of Madden in quite some time, but I do think that the Madden cover is pretty cool. Now, I understand that we don't live in the same magazine world that we used to, that being on the cover of Sports Illustrated used to be everything. Being on the cover of ESPN the magazine was everything, or the covers of the Wheaties box, or having them make an action figure or a bobblehead, you know. I get maybe it doesn't hold the same cultural significance that it used to. I don't know, man. Being on the cover of Madden is still really cool. It's still a really big accomplishment that you are one of the faces of the National Football League. They only put the all-time greats on there. So you better be Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Saquon Barkley or one of those kind of guys in order to get that honor. Well, this year, they're putting Caleb Williams on the cover. Congratulations to him. He is going to be the cover athlete for Madden. And, Rob, it got me thinking. And this is the topic that you don't even got to play Madden, I think, to participate in. I think that Caleb Williams and the rest of the Bears are going to have to answer what I think is the most difficult question to answer in sports. Oh, you guys had a really good season, but can you do it again? Because if you think about last year's Bears team, man, everything kind of came together perfectly for the Bears last year. I mean, that team was phenomenal down the stretch. I mean, they were getting Hail Marys and winning these big dramatic kind of games. They won 11 games. They won a playoff game. I mean, they had a phenomenal season last year. They were a true contending team last season. Now, you know how it goes. Everybody's back. Everybody's young. The expectation is, can you do it again? Because we've seen a lot of teams just pop up. They have a really good year. They got a good quarterback. Everybody loves them. Everybody thinks this quarterback is going to be it. They think he's the next great one. And then we all move on. You want to know how I know? That's exactly what people did with Washington. This time last year, everybody loved Jaden Daniels. Oh, he was everybody's favorite. He should have been the number 1 overall pick. Washington, they made a move to go get Deebo Samuel. They paid Terry McLaurin. Oh, the Commanders were going to be that team. How quickly we forget, how quickly we move on in the National Football League. That's how the Bears could be. It's possible. You got a great quarterback. I mean, the foundation of this team is the same foundation as last year. Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai. You look at the wide receivers. The expectation is that Luther Burden's going to take a step forward. Rome Odunze had a good year last year, but now they're expecting him to be a number 1. Colston Loveland. You look at that defense and the pieces that they got. Man, the expectation for the Bears is to win the division. The expectation for the Bears is, can you compete to go to a Super Bowl? Can you be one of the challengers for the Los Angeles Rams? So this is a tremendous honor for Caleb Williams. Salute. It's one of the coolest things that you can get as an individual. It's one of the best honors that you can get. Now the Bears got to answer that question. Can you guys replicate that success? Can you do it again? We'll see if the Bears can do that this season.
It's a very fair question to ask. Have we seen a quarterback, maybe since Josh Allen, go full replication of it? Now, maybe Lamar is the answer, but I feel like we've had these oh, man, watch out for this rookie quarterback. He had a great year. Watch out for year 2. And recently, not historically, but recently, we've seen regression. Remember, C.J. Stroud was supposed to be this guy, too.
Absolutely.
Now, he was not as good in year 2 as Caleb Williams was, but he was supposed to be that guy. Jaden Daniels. Now, he got hurt, but he definitely wasn't that guy. There was a belief. Remember, Jared Goff and Carson Wentz were 2 of the hottest names in quarterbacking back in the day. Now, Jared Goff's still a good quarterback, but he never lived up to all the hype he had at one point, all the sizzle. Do you think Caleb Williams can kind of break that recent trend and be I don't want to say he's more Mahomes, but is he more Josh Allen than he is C.J. Stroud? Because it seems like there's been a half step back recently, which is not historically how we view the greats.
That is $1 million question. I'm a Caleb Williams believer, and I've been that for quite some time now. I mean, I'm a believer in the guy that was the number 1 overall pick. I don't want to make it seem like I've been on an
Bold.
island. But you also remember there was a time where people were selling Caleb Williams stock. That rookie season, And heading into that second year, people had a lot of questions about Caleb Williams. Now, I think for the most part, he answered those questions. But again, it's not doing it one time. We know a lot of artists that have had one hit single. Hit singles that we still sing to this day. Can you name another song from the guy that sang Return of the Mac? You probably can't. Caleb Williams had one very good year. He threw for 4,000, a little under 4,000 yards, 3,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. There's still a lot of room for growth. Rob, do you know what his completion percentage was last year? It was 58% for Caleb Williams last year. So he could certainly be a lot more accurate of a passer than he was last year. Like, there's still room for growth in Caleb Williams' career. He is 24 years old. He has a very good offensive-minded head coach. So you would presume that that's going to be a big win for him. They've got the weapons and the pieces around him. They've invested in that offensive line. There's a lot of things I think to like about Caleb Williams heading into this season, and we'll see if he can answer the call. We'll see if he can be a guy that continues that. You don't need him to be significantly better. He took the jump last year for sure. He took the jump. Now it's, can you maintain the jump? Can you stay where you are is the question with him. We'll talk to Danny Parkins about that coming up in about 10 minutes. You guys know Danny Parkins, born and raised in Chicago. He will be on the show. He is the Fox Sports 1. He'll be on the show coming up in about 10 minutes. Now, Rob, I've seen a couple of these texts come across the timeline. Are you guys going to talk about this? How dare this happen? Well, let's hear it. I want to play this for you. I believe this is Channing Crowder. He said this on my guy Zach Gelb's show. Shout out to him. Listen to what he had to say about Myles Garrett and Patrick Mahomes.
Myles Garrett's better at DN than Patrick Mahomes is at quarterback.
That's a take, but Mahomes' numbers have dipped, except Mahomes has the 3 Super Bowls. Last year, you know what? Who had a better season? Myles Garrett did have a better season than Patrick Mahomes.
No, like if you want to talk like the Joe Montanas and the guys back in the day, Lawrence Taylor was better at his job than all those Hall of Fame quarterbacks you want to bring up. Quarterback, they make a difference. They make a bigger difference in the game. Yeah. But if you tell me that if you want to go get the quarterback, and I could put Myles Garrett over here, he is going to do a better job than if you tell me that I have to go get a touchdown.
Okay. Here's the thing about this. I don't know if Channing Crowder is wrong, right? Like, I don't know if he's wrong. I don't know if that's the wrong opinion. But I guess my counter would be, A, what does it matter? And then I would say, B, how valuable can Myles Garrett be compared to the value that I see with Patrick Mahomes, where I've seen what Patrick's ability has been able to do for his team. Why is Myles Garrett not having that same ability with his team? The Browns would be a better team if Patrick Mahomes was their quarterback as opposed to having Myles Garrett as their defensive end. So yeah, if we were talking about individual one-to-one looking at football in a silo, I don't know if you can say that Channing Crowder is wrong in that take. Like, I think Myles Garrett is phenomenal. I think if you are saying without position, I think Myles Garrett's the best player in the National Football League. But we also understand the concept of positional value then, if that's the case, right? We also understand that concept of it. And the positional value between the two, they are not close in the two. So if the answer is, would you rather have the best quarterback in the league or the best defensive end in the league, and I think that's who we're talking about, then the answer is it's very, very clear which one you'd rather have. I think you'd rather have the 4th or 5th best quarterback in the league than have the best defensive end in the league. So I just don't really know what the take means or why it matters or why anybody would be up in arms about this opinion.
I see this very similar to you. I don't understand why this take got Chiefs fans all in their feelings. Patrick Mahomes, was not good in 2025, even before the injury. Like, in the 14 games he played, he wasn't great. He was not Patrick Mahomes of old. So I think Myles Garrett was better than him last year. And I think Myles Garrett's a tremendous football player, but positional value matters. So yeah, even Mahomes in a down year is more valuable because quarterback's more valuable. That's like me saying, and we have this argument all the time on the show, Carrington, what would you rather have? The best left tackle in the NFL, the fourth best left tackle in the NFL, or the best running back? Positional value matters here. It's like, I don't think what Channing Crowder said is crazy. I just think it's a weird take to circumvent and say, oh, positional value matters in the league. That's all he's saying. It's just longer-winded than that.
Yeah, someone on the text line says, you're not comparing the players, you're comparing the dominance at the position. I see what he's saying. That's just a weird comparison. I guess maybe I don't know. I feel like both of them are as equally as dominant at their position. Myles Garrett has won Defensive Player of the Year 2 separate times. Patrick Mahomes has won MVP a couple of times. I feel like they both are equally dominant in their position. I feel like both of them are no doubt first ballot Hall of Famers, 2 of the top 100 players to ever play in the National Football League, 2 absolute physical freaks, 2 of the blueprints, 2 of the molds. To me, it's just like having a debate for the sake of having a debate. I don't really understand what conclusion we can come to at the end of it. I understand some debates. Oh, this player all time is better than this player. If Myles Garrett is a better DM than Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback, great. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I'll enjoy these 3 Super Bowls that Patrick Mahomes has won while you've won 1 playoff game since Myles Garrett has been on your team. I just don't really know how we end the argument. Coming up on the other side, Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1 joins us on the show. Caleb Williams got the Madden cover, and also the Knicks are in the NBA Finals. We'll talk about both. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
We all have that one painting project we've been putting off. For me, it was the exterior. I finally called CertaPro Painters, and you know what? I wish I'd done it sooner. They provide a free estimate quickly and at the right price. And what I loved most was the communication. I never had to wonder what was next because they provided reliable daily updates. They treat your home with respect, like it deserves. So schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up too early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
Mia from the Winnings Desk. Every Missouri lottery ticket helps support Missouri public education. Over $8 billion and counting. I was going to list every school, but yeah, there's over 2,400 of them. See the full list at molottery.com/education. Play it forward and play responsibly.
If you're looking for a new job and to work for a great local company, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is hiring. Top pay in the industry, health, vision, dental insurance, paid time off, and advancement opportunities. Check them out at GannAsphalt.com. One contractor, all things parking lot.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Pump up the volume. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Join us June 12th at the Peanut in the Northland for a USA Watch Party presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by the Kansas City Auto Show this weekend, June 4th through 7th, Overland Park Convention Center. See you there. In the Triangle, we've got a stall 71 northbound, just past 87th. Right lane is blocked. Let's see, crash and debris cleanup 69 southbound at 435. 2 left lanes are blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Earlier today, I got the chance to catch up with Danny Parkins. We would usually do it live, but Danny's show is at the same time that our show is, so kind of difficult to pull that off. His name is Danny Parkins. He is with Fox Sports 1. He's a rising television star on First Things First. I don't care about any of that. That's not his name on this show. Park, what's good?
Good afternoon, C-Day. Thanks for having me on. I am walking through the streets of New York right now, so I apologize if you hear any background noise. It is just 8 million people getting ready to get hammered and watch the Knicks game tonight.
I do want to talk to you about the Knicks, but before we get through any of that, what do you think is the greater curse? Do you think it's the Parkins pick of death, or do you think it's the Madden curse? Because with those two things coming together for Caleb Williams this year, you guys got 7 and 10 written all over you.
That's how good Caleb is. He's gonna overcome both of them. He's inevitable. I can hear the fear in your voice. First of all, Parkins pick of death. I was at that Bears-Packers game last year in the playoffs. I don't know if you remember how it went, but they didn't feel like a curse for the Chicago Bears. And when you got Caleb Williams' talent with Ben Johnson's coaching talent, I don't think there's any curse or superstition that can derail that train. So I'm feeling very good. Feeling very confident. And listen, you can mock me all you want, but you remember what it was like for Chiefs fans before they had someone worthy of being on the cover. I remember doing shows being like, will the Chiefs ever have an athlete get a commercial? That was a thing. Like, why can't Eric Berry or Tamba Hali or Jamal Charles or Alex Smith get any sort of love? Matt Castle was in those K-Swiss commercials. And then Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce came along, and now they're everywhere. The idea that the Bears have an offensive player, a quarterback, worthy of being in consideration for one of the faces of the NFL, which by definition being the cover athlete of Madden makes you, is just such a foreign concept to me and every Bears fan alive that this is a great day, and I'm not going to let you rain on my parade.
No, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly understandable. That's not why I wanted you on the show. Why I do want you on the show is you and I was in Kansas City back in 2014. We were in Kansas City in 2015. You remember the buzz. You remember the energy of the city. What is it like to be in New York right now while the Knicks are going on this run?
Yeah, it's just, listen, I mean, Kansas City is one of the great sports cities in the country, right? Number one in the ratings for everything. They'll show out for the World Cup, dominant college basketball, college football, NFL, baseball. The ratings are great for everything. New York is the capital of the world. You can have crazy things going on in New York and, not really notice. Look, the United Nations is here, or the president's in town, or George Clooney and Denzel Washington have separate shows on Broadway at the same time. And you don't really notice because it's New York. There's always a million things going on at any given time, and it's so big and there's so many people. The Knicks is a little different. Every bar has Knicks flags out. Every bar has little specials, on the thing. Come in, watch the Knicks game. Lots of Jalen Brunson jerseys everywhere. The mayor signing one of those fake executive orders saying that kids don't have bedtime for the rest of the month so that they can stay up late and watch the Knicks game. It's just a really special thing. Basketball culture in this city, Rucker Park, the old school Big East, New York point guards. The baseball fan is split between the Yankees and the Mets. The football fan is split between the Giants and the Jets. The Brooklyn Nets may as well move to Kansas City. There is no such thing as a Brooklyn Nets fan. So everybody here loves the Knicks so much that it's very cool to see something that truly permeates the city in a noticeable way because there's very, very few things that do that.
Danny, I'm not counting your pockets, but now you're making more than afternoon money. You're making TV money. That's in a different category. These Knicks tickets are pretty expensive. How low would they have to get for you to get the call? Let's say it's at 4 o'clock Eastern. Somebody says, hey, I got tickets for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Do you want to go? What number does it need to get to for you to be like, all right, I'll do it?
Probably $2,500 for a good seat, I would say. I would be pretty tempted but for a good seat. So I guess it's not going to happen, dude. I'm doing very well. It's that number even saying it is astronomical. Looking at these World Cup ticket prices, it's astronomical. Everything in this city is so damn expensive that even though I've leveled up in a big, big way, so have my expenses. And so it's, I try to have a grip on reality here. Our friend Nick Wright, I was talking to him about that the other day. His number is considerably higher than my number. So he is, he might find his way in. He said he's probably going to just spend all of his money on World Cup tickets and not buy NBA Finals tickets. The Knicks tickets are insane. It's in a city where everything is so expensive, they are grotesque. There's just so many millionaires in this city, hundreds of thousands of multi-millionaires, and then there's only 20,000 tickets to the Garden, but most of those are owned by hedge funds and law firms and trading desks. So there's so little inventory to get to the market. The cheapest seat in the house is over $4,000 to sit up there with in the rafters with the banners. So I just have no interest in paying that kind of money for a terrible seat. I don't even really have that much interest in spending that kind of money for a great seat. So I will not be going. I know people who are. I would love to go if I was given a free ticket, but that ain't happening. So I'll be watching from my basement.
Right now, we're talking to Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1, taking a closer look at Game 1 of the NBA Finals. We get you ready for Knicks and Spurs. All right, let's handicap this series. I think Spurs in 6 is the correct side to be on in this, But, man, there's just something about this Knicks team and what they've been able to accomplish over the last 6 weeks. It feels just icky to try to bet against them.
It does, but I am doing it also. I think that the East was the JV conference. I will say that the Spurs and 6 side, though, you then have the Spurs winning a closeout game at the Garden. And while obviously possible, we just saw them do it in Oklahoma City, Game 6 at the Garden will be that'll be an atmosphere. That will be a hell of a spot. So part of me thinks it's more likely that it's going to be Spurs in 5 than Spurs in 6. I just think that I don't think that Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby are going to both shoot 57+% from the floor and 48% plus from 3. Like, there's likely to be some regression from those two guys, even though they're playing great. And then Stephon Castle guarding Brunson with Wemby backing him up. They just held SGA to below a bunch of his averages. And I know A.J. Mitchell and J-Dub were out, so they were able to garner even more attention on SGA. And that won't be the case for the Knicks because Brunson will have a little bit more help because they're healthier. But I do think Brunson will perform a little bit less efficiently than he has been these playoffs. So that combination of factors, I just think the Spurs are a really, really tough defensive matchup, obviously for everybody. But they're such a huge step up in class defensively than anything that the Knicks have faced so far these playoffs. That I'm going to be picking the Spurs, and I'm going to be picking it in a fairly short series.
Yeah, that's a major reason of why I'm picking the Spurs is what you just alluded to with Brunson. The Spurs just have so many different bodies that you can just throw at Brunson through this entire series. And just when you think about how deep they are as the Spurs, and not saying the Knicks aren't, but it was just really impressive what the Spurs did in the fourth quarter against the Thunder. It wasn't Wemby going for 40, 25, and 8 blocks. It was a little bit of Castle. It was a little bit of Champagnie. It was just a little bit of everybody that I don't think this stage is going to be too big for San Antonio. I think they're the more talented of the two teams. I think the Spurs are winning the championship.
Yeah, we're on the same page. And then the Knicks could steal game 1 tonight, and we could feel real dumb about that because maybe this is some sort of team of destiny thing, and they're just never going to miss a shot again. But I think that throw out the precedent, right? Everyone's like, well, you've got to struggle in the playoffs. You've got to crawl before you can walk, before you can run. Feels like those rules might not apply to the 7'5" Frenchman who plays center for the Spurs.
Yeah, this might be the fastest that any player has become the best player in the league. I was listening to Nick's podcast, and he mentioned LeBron and, that game against the Pistons when it was kind of his arrival. It's I could be the next great. I feel like Wemby's was that game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. I mean, we're talking about 22 years old, first playoff run, and it is very clear to me he is the most dominant player in the sport.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, he doesn't have the hardware yet, and it's that classic debate of, like, best player versus greatest of all time. Like, greatest of all time usually comes with hardware. So when Brew, who's been covering the NBA for over 30 years, said Wemby was the best player alive in the regular season, I was like, Brew, have you ever even considered someone that before he's played a single playoff game? And he was like, no, but this guy's different. And I was like, totally fair, but if SGA is going to be the back-to-back MVP and Jokic is a champion and a multi-time MVP who I've seen get the best of Wemby, I'm like, I'm going to be a day late to the party and wait to see him do it in the postseason. And then that game against the Thunder that you mentioned, not to mention a bunch of other things that have happened in these playoffs, make it very obvious that Victor Wembanyama is the best player in basketball. He doesn't have the hardware yet, but we could be 4 wins away from him getting some pretty impressive hardware.
I'll wrap it up with this, Danny, and get you out of here. The 2 NFL moves that we just had. I like the move for both the Rams and the Browns. I really love the move for the New England Patriots. I understand why the Eagles ultimately had to do it, but them getting a 2028 first-round pick as opposed to a 2027 first-round pick, that then tilts it in the Patriots' favor in my mind.
Yeah, it lowers the draft compensation if it's out into the future, but Howie Roseman doesn't believe in that because he knows that he has unlimited job security. So I think he's willing to punt it a year down the road. And, there's not any guaranteed money for Jalen Hurts beyond this upcoming year. So I'd say it's just as likely that trade gets rerouted in for this upcoming draft to help Philadelphia maneuver to go draft Jalen Hurts' replacement if he has a year where he struggles. So I think Howie Roseman looked at it as 2027, 2028. It's just capital to me so that I can, have insurance behind Jalen Hurts. So I understood why they did it. I clearly think they're worse. I just walked right past Taraji B. Henson. 2 seconds, two steps away from me. Hey, I recognize you. And then I turned my head, and she was walking into her theater on Broadway, and the little sign said Taraji B. Henson. And I was like, oh, yeah, she's got that show with Cedric the Entertainer on Broadway right now. Craziest city in the world. It really is.
That is Danny Parkins.
What were we talking about?
It doesn't matter, Danny. You got to go. I told you I would keep you 15 minutes. You've done your time, man. Have a great rest of your day. That's Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1.
All right.
Always great to catch up with our brother Danny Parkins, as he is a rising television star. Shout out to Danny. Happy to have him on the show today. We will get back to basketball here coming up in a little bit. Michelle Beadle is going to be on the show. She was born and raised in San Antonio. So we had somebody boots on the ground in New York. We're going to head to a Spurs fan coming up in about 30 minutes. Really excited to have Michelle Beadle join us on the show. So I want to take you guys a little bit behind the scenes. So today, every day. Maybe it's a better way of starting it. Every day, Rob, myself, and Spec, we have a meeting. And we just talk about the show, guy talk, gambling, life, TV. It's just a nice little show meeting that we have. I don't really know what led us to this conversation, but I looked at Spec and I said, you could have gave me $1 million, and I would have never had guessed that Marvin Harrison Jr.'s career would have gone the way that it's gone. Like, he was such a can't-miss, dynamite prospect. I'm stunned his career has gone the way that it's gone. And Spec kind of nodded his head and agreed, like, yeah, the NFL is tricky. And I came out and said, I'd rather have Rashee Rice than have Marvin Harrison Jr., and Spec went, It's been a while since I've seen Spec that mad and disagree with one of my takes so much. I want to ask you guys, 913-586-7965, am I crazy in that opinion? Like, if you were telling me right now, both players are available for 2026, I'm not talking about contract, even though both of them are on their rookie deal. I'm not talking about the future. I'm talking about for this upcoming season. Which wide receiver would I rather have? I'd rather have Rashee Rice than have Marvin Harrison Jr. I understand some of it with him has been quarterback, no question about it, but both of them have had their injury concerns. One person has definitely had a higher ceiling than the other one. Now, from an age perspective, they're not that far off in age. Marvin Harrison's 24. Rashee Rice is 26 years old. I didn't think that this take was so blasphemous. I didn't think it was that preposterous. The way Spector responded, he responded like I had said something crazy when I didn't really think it was that crazy. So I want to bring it to you guys. 913-586-7965. You're starting an NFL team. Not fantasy. You're starting a real NFL team for the 2026 season. You can either have Marvin Harrison Jr. on your team or have Rashee Rice on your team. Which receiver would you rather have? I'd rather have Rashee Rice.
Is it close? Like, that's my question to you. I was in the room. Spec, you would have thought you said something bad about like the Wizards or something. Spec was appalled. He was shocked. Do you think
he looked mad? Yeah. I thought I was about to be suspended.
Meeting ended quickly.
He didn't just walk out.
We're like, all right, we're thinking about talking about that. Okay, see ya. Bye. Bye-bye. Do you think it's close between Rice and Harrison? Because I think it's Rice too, but I think it's a lot closer than you're leading on. And I think
it's a little bit closer, but just like Marvin Harrison hasn't shown me that he's a legitimate number one in the National Football League. He hasn't shown me that. Rice's best year has been better than his best year. Now, to me, some of this now comes down to our perception of them coming into it. The perception of Marvin Harrison coming into the league was astronomical, so we already know a large majority of it's going to be placed on the quarterback and not placed on he's just been all right. I know now I remember how the conversation started. Marvin Harrison said he doesn't feel 100% and he doesn't feel healthy right now. So he's now going into year 3 of his career. This is a very big, important season now to determining whether or not they're going to pick up that big fifth-year option, and his fifth-year option is going to be expensive. He was a top 5 pick, and he plays wide receiver. It will not be cheap to keep Marvin Harrison on your team. I am not 100% certain that the Cardinals are going to keep Marvin Harrison on the team. The text line feels pretty split right now, 913-586-7965. If you are starting an NFL team right now, let's say if you're the New Orleans Saints, why don't we just pick a random team? We love a good random team. They also have a pretty decent quarterback. Not a great quarterback, but I think Tyler Shuck has a chance of being pretty good this year. Would you rather have Marvin Harrison Jr. or would you rather have Rashee Rice? I'd rather have Rashee Rice.
I'd rather have Rice too, but I think it's very close. And I think fans' perception becomes reality. Marvin Harrison Jr. was supposed to be Calvin Johnson. He was supposed to be the can't-miss Jamar. Pick a guy who everyone knew the minute he gets drafted, he's going to be a megastar. He has not been a megastar in the NFL, but he had a productive rookie season, a tumultuous, injury-riddled second season, but still has been a productive wide receiver in the NFL. I think it's close, but I think people think Marvin Harrison's been trashed because the expectation when he's a star, when in reality he's just a better version of Xavier Worthy. So, but I think it's closer than you're leading on. It's not like Rashee Rice has a couple 1,500-yard seasons, 100%. And this is ridiculous.
For sure. No, they are in the same tier of wide receiver right now. A lot of talent, hoping that they could take the next step. Now, I understand contract would change this conversation. If the Cardinals called and said they want to make that trade straight up, Chiefs say yes?
Okay, so now this also gets hinky. Because
I understand. Contract, the Chiefs would have control over Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's tomorrow if I don't even know who the Arizona Cardinals general manager is. He's probably going to be fired soon anyway.
I think he just got hired. So they just fired the last guy.
He still could be fired. Let's say that he calls up Brett Veach right now and says, we want to do a straight-up trade Marvin Harrison for. I'm not saying what I think the text line would do. Do you think Brett Veach?
No, Brett Veach would say no.
Do you think Brett Veach says, yes, we'll take this trade straight up. We'll take Marvin Harrison straight up right now for Rashee Rice. I also agree with you. I think the Chiefs say no.
I also think there's an element here at play about the off the field. That changed the calculus a little bit too, where Rashee Rice is not only a contract year, he's a headache. But I think if Brett Veach got a call from Cardinals GM, he would probably say, no, we're good. Thank you, though.
Marvin Harrison, these last 2 years, I mean, just this past season. Now, he was injured. 41 catches, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns this season. That's what he did. His rookie season was fine. 62 catches, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. I mean, he's been okay, but, I mean, you remember there for a second, people were talking about Marvin Harrison like he was the best wide receiver prospect we've had since Calvin Johnson was the way people were discussing him. Remember that time where people thought Snead and the Chiefs 1 could get you Marvin Harrison? Like, that's why I think some of this conversation I think is based on, if you're a player that people thought was going to be good, the expectation is always new situation, new quarterback, new this. We can get everything out of you we thought that you can get. A lot of people still feel that way about Marvin Harrison, which I'm not mad if that ends up being the case, but he's banged up this season. They got Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback this year. And how great do you think, like, if you're asking me for this upcoming season, I feel confident that Rashee Rice will have a better season than Marvin Harrison was. I know we're not talking about fantasy, different conversation. In fantasy football, having Rashee Rice on your team will be more valuable than having Marvin Harrison on your team.
I agree. I'm there in the same tier, but I think Rice is ahead of Harrison on that tier. I also think, this is a comment sent on the text line, guys, you should take Marvin Harrison. He's had no quarterback. Do you know, I hate that conversation. Truly transcendent great wide receivers are not relying on quarterback. Do you know what Jamar Chase did with Jake Browning? He was still really, really good.
For sure.
There are people in our
Andre
lives,
Johnson, a lot of those guys.
So I kind of throw out he had a bad quarterback. Great receivers are fine with bad. So, but I still
Somebody's
think,
got to catch the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody's got to catch passes on the team. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to be joined by Michelle Beadle. You guys remember her. She was on ESPN Sports Nation. She was born and raised in San Antonio. Her team, her city, they play the NBA Finals coming up later tonight. We'll catch up with her coming up in about 20 minutes. Coming up on the other side, I want to show you how sports math has really broken our brain. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. That goes Ward to the wall. Gone. Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Liberty Mutual customize this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Community Blood Center is teaming up with the Kansas City Royals for our annual Royals Weeks. Now through June 14th, help keep our blood supply strong ahead of these critical summer months. Join us to donate blood and receive 2 tickets to a select Royals home game this season. With a single donation, you could be the reason up to 3 people get out of the hospital and into the stands this summer. Schedule your donation today at savealifenow.org or call 877-468-6844.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Tonight, expect a low of 64 with partly cloudy skies.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hi, Toby Tobin along with Jason Gutenkoff from Lewisburg Ford, Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
So what is going on at Lewisburg Ford?
Hey, we've got an amazing promotion right now, Toby. We've got employee pricing for everyone. That means you don't have to negotiate price and you can buy a brand new Ford just like a Ford employee can. It's a big benefit to them. Now it's a big benefit to everybody.
But now the dealer's all the same as you?
Every dealer's going to be the same price. So the only thing that makes a difference is the dealer who you're working with. And Lewisburg Ford is the best, okay? I'm touting how good we are.
Okay.
23 President's Award, the number one F-150 dealer in the Kansas City area 9 years in a row, and the biggest F-150 dealer for 5 years in the state of Kansas.
I know you are the best place to buy a Ford.
We're going to take better care of you than anybody.
Period. Yes.
Absolutely.
How long is this going on?
Well, we can come to you, and we're going to do this through the 7th of July. So if you want us to come to you, we can come to you, or we'd love to see you in Lewisburg.
What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Or LewisburgFord.com.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a diamond sourcing expert, I'll tell you just how differently we source our diamonds so your engagement ring can be the most beautiful. We work directly with our diamond partners who reserve the best stones just for us. We handpick and inspect each diamond, then negotiate the best price. At Shane Company, we believe this is the only way to properly buy a diamond, because a friend goes the extra mile to make sure you get your dream diamond at your dream price. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Okay, new problem headed up to Liberty. It's going to take you a few extra minutes. 35 northbound. The problem is just past 69, right lane block. So scoot to the left left through there. 2-car crash just below that area. 435 northbound, the on-ramp from 210 highway. You'll tap your brakes through there. And I am seeing red with both incidents. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I just want to read something to you guys really quickly. We won't spend a whole lot of time on this. We got Michelle Beal coming on the show in about 15 minutes or so. Sometimes sports, it is its own entity, and it forces you to think differently in ways. Like, there's no other profession where everybody's like, oh, you know what you should do? You should just openly not accept the millions of dollars that the team wants to give you because it's better to give that money to other employees. Or when your team signs a guy to like a 1-year, $5 million deal, you're like, oh, that's not that much. That's a really good deal. Like, no, that's a significant amount of money. Like, they're giving him $5 million. Now, I understand those examples, and it's all comparative, right? Like, Patrick Mahomes makes 10 times that amount of money. I get all of that. The reason I bring this up is the NBA Finals. Now, you guys have heard about how much the tickets are going for in Madison Square Garden. Like, it's ridiculous. So, for example, right now, Rob, the absolute cheapest ticket right now for Game 3 on StubHub is $5,900. That's the cheapest ticket. Not a pair. That's one ticket to be in the building. 4 to 16. You up near the rafters. $5,916. I've never seen anything like this before. You could get into the Super Bowl for cheaper than that. You could go to the Super Bowl cheaper than you could go to for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Not even close. So I was looking at Game 1 of the NBA Finals. You know, that's in San Antonio. You know that right now you could get into Game 1. You could go tonight to the game. You could get in for $700. That it then makes you start thinking, you know what, man, it's not really that bad. $700. So it's like $1,400 for the pair. You start talking yourself into it. You know, it's a once in a lifetime. My team's in the NBA Finals. I want to see Wemby go up against the Knicks. Yeah, we're going to do it. You know how much money $1,400 is? Do you know what you can do with $1,400? Do you know where you can go for $1,400? Because you could go somewhere where you would get way more than 3 hours of enjoyment out of it. That's just the way that sports math has broken our brains. There are people, regular people, Rob, like me and you, regular jobs, not multimillionaires, not hedge funds, not spending daddy's money. $700, $800 a ticket to go to this game today, and you're going to justify it like, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I'm going to look at you and say, you know what, you actually got a pretty good price.
Hearing what Danny said and hearing those prices, I'm starting to understand more and more why in New York, when the Knicks win, the party is in the streets and not in the arena. Because it doesn't sound like the average fan can get into the arena. It sounds like if you work at, Bank of America or JP Morgan or, TD Ameritrade, you got a chance to be in the building. If you work for literally anyone else, when they win, you go party in the streets. It all seems to make a lot more sense to me because we see those videos where New York's going nuts over random, round 2 series 2-1 wins. It's because they're not allowed to be in the building because they can't afford it.
This is more money than I spent to go to the Kentucky Derby than what these tickets are going for. No.
And it's Game 3. You can't clinch anything.
This is almost 2 times the amount I spent for 2 tickets to go to WrestleMania just a couple of months ago. This is insane. This is what people spend to go to basketball games. I don't know what the face is on these tickets. I'm assuming it's a little bit more expensive. I didn't spend this much to go to the World Series when the Royals were in, and I got kind of lucky I got them at face. I know some people that probably spent a little bit of bread to go to those games, but my goodness, I can't imagine spending this much money to go to a sporting event. That's a lot of coin.
I went to multiple World Series games, like between the Mets and the Giants over the 2 years. I don't think my totality got to that number.
That's crazy, man. Are you willing to spend that to watch KU in the Super Regionals? Because that might be what it comes down to. I don't know if you're getting the regular ticket. So if you guys missed it, we're trying to get Rob hooked up. We thought we had a connection.
Rob needs to be a baseball season ticket holder then. Let's get it done, Rob.
Well, you know what happened, Coach? Let me tell you what happened. Rob tried to call over there and tried to use some radio clout to get some tickets for this weekend, and he was basically told, you got to go through the same process as everybody else. So he's a little salty right now that he had to watch last weekend on TV.
Rob's got my cell now, so we'll take care of him.
So the manager of the team said, he's got my number, we'll take care of him. Now we got official confirmation. I just saw it. I had never gone to Kansas Baseball's Twitter page, social media. There was no reason for me to go on there. I don't plan on going to any of their games, but I'm on there looking because I want to make sure that we get Rob a couple of tickets for Saturday and Sunday. So they go on sale Friday at 10 o'clock. Rob, I hope you know you need to have your ticket arrangement figured out by Friday at 10 o'clock. I hope you know that. Because if you don't have yours in hand, and then when they legitimately sell out, they're then going to use that as we don't have anymore. So I hope you know that your window to get this figured out, it is closing. You've got tonight, and you've got all day tomorrow, and maybe like 8 or 9 on Friday morning. But if that on sale happens and they release those tickets to the general public, and you got to be with the general public to get tickets, I hope you know you're watching the games on ESPN. I hope you know that. I'm telling you this from a place of love. I hope you understand that if they don't hook you up, you will not be attending this sporting event.
If they do tickets the way they did last time, where it was like Wednesday at 10, be ready. I logged in at 10. Now, I definitely screwed up. I should have bought the backyard, hindsight 2020. It was pretty clear the donors who donate more than me, they got in before 10. So if they're doing it this week the way they did it last week, I need to have my ticket plan done by 9 on Friday, by 8:30 on Friday, by the time my head hits the pillow on Thursday, because if it's 10:01, I don't know what's left and available, because Oklahoma is going to get their own patch of tickets. Students are going to get their own patch of tickets, so it's not a true...
You used to be a student. That can't help you? They can't give you 2 student tickets?
I still have my student ID. I'll go wait in line.
That's what I'm saying. They can't help you with 2 student tickets? Somebody said, let the donors have this. Rob is a donor.
I mean, not the level they want me to be, but
Rob's
I am a donor.
Rob donates to the Williams Scholarship Fund. Now, I did propose this text line, because the text line earlier was like, why don't you help him? I got to help Rob with KU business? I wouldn't go to Rob, hey, Rob, can you help me get tickets to... No, I don't need Rob's help. But I'm a good friend. So I'm willing to help. Now, I saw this from Mike Vernon. First off is going to be baseball season ticket holders. Now, Rob, you had a chance to be a baseball season ticket holder for $80 this year, and you chose not to be one. You could have signed up for season tickets. You could have signed up for season tickets in February. They probably would have looked out for you if you had signed up at any point. But no, Johnny come lately. Now you want to try to go to the game. So you're not going to be able to get the baseball season ticket package. That's number 1. Now, number 2, you have to make a $1,000 donation or better, because I saw Bill Self made a donation, so they sold him tickets. Lance Leipold.
Sold, I'm sure.
Yeah, Lance Leipold made one, so they sold him some tickets. So I told Rob that I will help him with his donation. I'm willing to offer $500 as a part of a donation to Kansas Athletics to help Rob get his seats. I'm willing to help. But my $500 is going to come with a stipulation. He needs to dress up like Truman the Tiger. If he's not willing to dress up like Truman the Tiger, I got no funds. You want me to donate, I want something for my donation. I'm not getting tickets. I'm not going.
I can already tell you, The price to StubHub has less strings attached, and that's probably the path.
There's only one string.
That's not a string. That's a rope.
Okay, you don't got to wear the full costume. You know what? We'll dress you up like Willie the Wildcat. Just wear the head.
That is what Willie the Wildcat is.
That's what I'm saying. Just wear the head.
$1,000 donation to K-State would be the most money they've ever seen.
I'll make you know what? I'll move it down to $250 if you just wear a Missouri Tiger basketball jersey.
No.
On the stream. Will you wear a Missouri Tiger basketball jersey on the stream?
I'm a principled man. I'm not wearing your Bryson Tiller jersey. Okay. No.
I was just asking. I wanted to know. I was curious. Somebody said you don't get things for donations, though. You absolutely do. Tickets. They give you tickets when you donate. If you donate that much to Kansas Athletics, trust me, they will give you something. Hey, you want to come to the game? Here.
Why do you think they keep naming stuff after David Booth?
Yeah, just keep giving stuff. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to donate right now. I'll Apple Pay you the money right now. I'm willing to do it. I need something in exchange for it. That's easy. I'll even supply the jersey. I'll supply the jersey. You don't have to bring the jersey. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
I wasn't going to bring the jersey. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it. We'll have Dennis Gates call up that day. We'll have a real Mizzou-palooza. How badly do you want to go to this game? You didn't want to go badly enough to be a season ticket holder. You don't want to go badly enough to donate your own money, so I'll donate my money. Just like when you donate money and they say, hey, I want to put my name on the football stadium. Yeah, Rob, that's what I want. That's what I want you to do. $500 for the Truman head, $250 for a Missouri Tiger basketball jersey. Or football jersey. If you want to wear a Chase Daniel one, we can accommodate that, but that's what I want for my donation. We got Michelle Beadle coming up next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the car crash kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Okay, new problem headed up to Liberty. It's going to take you a few extra minutes. 35 northbound. The problem is just past 69, right lane block. So scoot to the left left through there. 2-car crash just below that area. 435 northbound, the on-ramp from 210 Highway. You'll tap your brakes through there. And I am seeing red with both incidents. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Hey, are you shaking a maraca?
No, I'm shaking the pill version of Ozempic, which no one should ever do except in ads like this.
A nice disclaimer.
Hey, thanks. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 9 milligrams, and Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Who do you think will be wearing the ring at the end of the NBA Finals? You can take your shot with FanDuel, and you just might be celebrating a victory of your very own. Right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. You can seek out those individual player markets for baskets or who's going to have the most rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for a chance at a bigger payout. And with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to join now to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA and 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 minimum wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When Kansas City storms roll through, hail and wind can damage your roof without you even realizing it. If your home was hit, call us at Century Roofing for a free inspection today. We handle every step with your insurance company, making the process stress-free and easy for you. For over 35 years and more than 35,000 roofs, we've been protecting Kansas City homes. Let us protect yours. Trust the Pillars of Strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the Pillars of Strength.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, and we're taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new features. Join us June 4th through 7th at our exciting new location. Get up close to the latest cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus exclusive test drives you won't want to miss. Don't miss your chance to see your future of driving, all in one place. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through the 7th at Overland Park Convention Center.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500.
Mike's got this.
The Cody and Gold Garage Sale benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is on Wednesday, June 10th on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
We wanted to do something special for the NBA Finals. We are very happy right now to welcome Michelle Beadle on the show. She is born and raised in San Antonio, getting you ready for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Michelle, happy to have you on the show today.
Thanks, man. Hold up. I was not born there. I was born in Italy. Let's not just erase that fact, because that part's kind of awesome.
Okay, I did not know this. I thought you were born. I knew you spent a lot of time in San Antonio. I thought you grew up there.
No, I did. I moved there summer before 6th grade, which, weirdly enough, is when I became a Spurs fan. So it all kind of timed out perfectly, which I'm glad, because we moved from Dallas, where I went to Mavericks games as a little kid, and I'm kind of happy for my evolution.
I recently went to San Antonio. So my mom, she moved to Austin, so we drove to San Antonio for the day. So I got a chance to see the Riverwalk for myself. Very, very underrated. A very good time.
I mean, look, there's a lot more going on. That we have a whole Pearl District, which is adorable. We've got nice hotels now, and from the time that I last lived there permanently, and now it's. Oh, I mean, we have actual restaurants that people are excited to go to. It's pretty great. We didn't have that before. Not like this.
Right now, we're talking to Michelle Beadle. So, Michelle, before we talk basketball, I need to let you in on what we've been discussing on the show today. So my producer, Rob, that you just talked to, he is a big KU fan. KU is in they are trying to go to the College World Series. They are in the Super Regionals. So he's been trying to do some radio clout. They haven't really been helpful with the tickets. But they said if he makes a $1,000 donation to the baseball program, that they will sell him tickets at face, because that's what they're asking alumni to do. I told Rob that I would pay for half of the donation, but as a KU fan, I need him to wear Missouri's mascot's costume. I think that's a fair trade. He seems reluctant about it. What side are you on?
First of all, wow, to the $1,000 fee just to get a chance to buy stuff. That's impressive. I'm very impressed by that. I mean, look, he might get his butt kicked. Like I think he's thinking medically if this is a good idea for him. I mean, it's one thing to wear like a shirt, a jersey, a hat, but a costume, that's tough, dude. That's tough. If you're going to make him do that, you got to pay the full $1,000. That's how I look at it.
But I did tell him that for just $250, I would take him wearing a basketball jersey on our stream.
Okay. You know what? I think that's fair. I still can't believe you have to dish out $1,000 though. That's wow. Come a long way, college. Long way.
Trust me, they are always looking for the almighty dollar. So Michelle, we're happy to have you on. A lot of things to talk about. Let's just start here. You are from San Antonio. I think that's pretty safe to say. How excited are you that they are in the championship and they are led by a once-in-a-lifetime generational star?
I am, like, I've just been in a great mood. I joked last week, after Game 7, I should say, but that I was just, the next day I woke up, I literally was complimenting people like strangers. That's not a thing I do, not ever. The world feels a little sunnier and a little more joyful. At least my little tiny world does right now. Because like everyone else, I mean, maybe I thought they were better than some did. Like I thought for sure they were at least going to the playoffs. And when Wemby said the sixth seed, people were like, oh, that's silly. And I was like, no, I don't think it's silly at all. But that's different than where we are today. I mean, we are head and shoulders ahead of schedule, as everyone keeps saying. And I agree. I'm shocked. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm annoyed that we still have, 5.5 more hours till this game starts. Like, I feel like I've done everything that I had to do today, and I still have to just sit here for 5 hours. You know, when you're so, like a kid, like I'm so excited, and it's just, it's Christmas. Maybe I'll take a nap. I've never taken a nap as an adult, but I'm going to try today just to kill some time. So, yeah, I am stoked.
Well, let me tell you, I cheer for Mizzou, so that feeling you're talking about with anticipation for big games, I haven't had that a whole lot in my life.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, no, either of the Knicks fans, so I feel their pain, kind of.
Have you ever seen Wemby in person? Have you been to a Spurs game?
Oh, yeah, I interviewed him. I know I'm going to post some of these pictures. It's not in this week when when he first got to town, I went and did a sit down with him, and it's funny. The picture I have is us shaking hands, and just how long his arm is. It's like, it's crazy. It is. I mean, I think we all in this business probably take for granted more than not sort of access and our abilities to kind of be at sporting events and games and up close and personal. And, you know, you always hear like, oh, that guy's much bigger. He's much faster. He's this, that, and the other. But I keep telling people, I'm like, man, you got to see him live. Like it is a different situation than we are used to. And I'm saying that as a person who's been courtside for a long, long time. So it's crazy how skilled and yet still graceful. And it's just, and what I love most about him is he's like a sponge for knowledge and learning. And that, I don't know that you could ask for a better quality in a sports figure that you want to love, because he's just going to get better. And that's probably scary for everybody else.
Right now, we're talking to Michelle Beadle. She is joining us on the show. She is a Spurs fan getting ready for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. One thing about Wemby, like a feeling I'm trying to hold, is I feel like in sports it's made us cynical where we just can't say, oh, this thing is really cool. Like Shohei makes us feel that way. Oh, this is cool. Yep. He can hit. He can pitch. He can do all of these things. I feel like people still have that feeling about Wemby. Eventually it'll turn. It always turns. But I want to keep that. I also think it's really cool in sports when you can say you are watching somebody that you have never seen before. Like, I've never seen anything like Wemby. The things that he can do, his ability to shoot it, his size, his length. Like, he is truly a one-of-one. We've never had a basketball prospect like this before.
Which is weird because, look, obviously LeBron James, the most hyped player at such a young age, having to come into a league and has basically lived up to all of it and then some. But physically, it's not the same. I think the skill set that Wemby's coming in, he's only 22, and we have to keep telling ourselves that. He's adding to that. He clearly is very serious about how he spends his off seasons more than most. So I'm with you. I mean, physically, one of one, and mentally just above and beyond the 22 years that he is currently. Because a lot of athletes will do sort of the performative stuff in the off season and show us. I mean, I remember J.J. Watt was probably the worst to show us all the stuff he was doing in the off season to get better, and we were just like kind of roll your eyes, like okay. And this is like different stuff, right? Like dribbling a ball up a mountain. It just crazy stuff. I am so excited to see what he does this off season. I hope he at least takes a week to enjoy himself, maybe stay up till like 10:30, 11. But it's crazy. And I'm like you. I'm pretty cynical and using words like never and ever and forever. Like they always make me cringe. But we really haven't. We really haven't seen this before, and so never is appropriate.
I know you've seen a lot of great Spurs wins. I mean, they've won championships over your life. They've been a dynasty through your life. How impressed were you with this team, given their age, to go on the road in Game 7 and win that kind of game? We're talking about a bunch of 20-somethings that have never really won anything. And to go into that environment and walk away with the win in Game 7 and do so pretty comfortably, it felt like. Just had to be a very rewarding feeling as a fan.
Not only that, and the MVP, just named, had a nice night. It wasn't like, everybody on that team had a lousy night. Now, I credit the SGA MVP award being given out while the Spurs were on the court in Game 1. I told everyone, you are ticking off the wrong dude, and I'm convinced it made him even angrier. And there's no love lost, clearly, between their team and San Antonio. But it was, I'm not ashamed to admit it, Carrington. I cried, tears of joy, and legitimately, I went Instagram Live. I've never done that in my life. I don't even know what that is at this point. I can't believe I did it, but I was so excited. I was nervous about the game. I had already convinced myself, sort of, hey man, this has been a hell of a series, and they're not supposed to be here, and the future's very bright. And you know what? If we lose to OKC in Game 7, we lose to OKC in Game 7, and I'll root for the Knicks, and it will be what it is. As that game started to go on, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. I mean, phone calls, FaceTimes with family. We don't even know how to FaceTime. It was a really fun night. I'm excited. You can hear it probably. I sound psychotic, but it is what it is.
I've got one more sports question to ask you about the game. Yeah. What do you think the Spurs need to do to win this series? Because the Knicks, they're playing incredible basketball. They won 11 straight playoff games. It feels like they could be that kind of team of destiny. What do you think the Spurs need to do to win the championship?
I think they just got to keep doing what they've been doing. And the biggest fear I have for them, because we know Jalen Brunson, that fourth quarter is going to roll around and it's Brunson time, and he's going to rattle off 12 in a row by himself. And I'm talking at home, because the Garden is its own animal and entity, and it will be the most hostile, the loudest territory that they've ever stepped foot in. I know that OKC is loud, but New York hadn't been here in a really long time, so it's going to be chaos in there. So I think that if they can just, it sounds so cliche, but just stay calm. Don't let things get rattled. If they do go on a little run, don't start doing things that you're not used to doing. Don't start resorting to taking some of these bad shots. Just keep playing what got you here. And I think they'll be fine. I really do.
Michelle, a couple of questions about you. People just never think of themselves like this. Do you understand, I guess, how important you are to the sports ecosystem? I'm just saying, there was a time where I thought ESPN did very fun, creative shows. And Sports Nation was one of those kind of shows that it was very different. It was very fresh. It was very unique. You were the host of that show. Do you understand how important that show was now that you're removed from it?
I mean, I really do understand sort of that it was kind of its own little thing, simply because they let us be and nobody was bothering us and the suits left us alone. And so we got away with things that probably wouldn't have been able to. And I like to think that it kind of sort of opened up the doors for people to be a little more goofy, and maybe let's not take all of this so seriously, because quite frankly, it is still sports. I don't know why we have to keep reminding ourselves of that. And there are people, there are figures in this industry that are ridiculously over the top, taking themselves too seriously. And for me, it ruins it, right? I love sports because it's entertainment, and I like organic drama, and I like characters, and we've gotten away from a lot of that. So I do appreciate it. And I also, when I look back on it, it is to this day the most fun I've probably ever had, simply because we didn't know any better. And that ignorance is bliss kind of kicked in, and it worked for us.
I guess just to me as somebody who's in the media, but also a fan, like I just want more balance, I think, in the way that sports is broadcasted on television. Like sometimes you and your friends might have a very heated debate about sports, but sometimes you'll just be sitting there talking about some random player who played on your favorite team. Like both are important sports conversations, just opposite ends of the spectrum. And when I watch ESPN today, I feel like every show is just a carbon copy of the show that Just On was before, that I felt like 10, 15 years ago with Around the Horn and PTI and Sports Nation and all of these different shows. I just felt like they were willing to kind of test the boundaries and the limits in a way that they're not willing to today.
You know, I think it's twofold on that too. I think people probably get a little bit lazy, but more important than that, I think, you know, starting with the suits on down. Like, I think a lot of us operate from a place of being fearful of losing our jobs. Like that is kind of how it is, right? Like being fired for a lot of folks is the worst thing that can happen to you. Having been fired, it's not that big a deal, but it is for a lot, right? And so when you operate from that space, it's a little fearful, and so that ability to just, hey, let's try this, I think that goes out the window because of it. You don't want to rattle the cage, and then all of a sudden that's the wrong decision, and now you're out. So they just keep doing what they're doing. I find it all on. Look, people are going to say I'm a hater. I really am only here anymore for like the live games. Now, inside the NBA guys, yeah, obviously I stick around for that. But I don't watch I don't watch half, I don't watch the panel shows. I don't know, man. It's like, give me the games. I want the live action. If halftime is not the guys I like, I will watch something else and come back when the game's back on. Like I sort of lost the interest in other people's opinions on that level, which I don't know. Maybe it'll come back, but I doubt it.
All right, two last questions here. I'm going to take you back to 1995. Who was your favorite Sports Center anchor?
Oh, God. Okay, so hold on. You know what? I hate to admit it. The Oberman, Dan Patrick days were pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Eisen and Stewart, pretty dang good. I still to this day, I love Kenny Mayne. Like he's still one of the funniest people I know and I talk to all the time, but never about sports, which is hilarious to me. Yeah, I think. Who's yours? Because that's going back.
I mean, I feel like every kid went through that one, Stuart Scott, just with the catchphrases and the lingo. Like nobody that did sports talked the way that Stuart Scott did.
No, and it was like that was just him. He was one of one and iconic doing it, and there were a lot of imitators, and there still are. But yeah, he was the OG of all of it.
Who was the one athlete that you got a chance to meet that just, at the core of this, like we got into this business because we're fans of sports. We love sports. So when you get a chance to meet somebody you were a fan of, it's just a really cool moment. Who was that athlete for you that you got to meet?
Oh, you know what? It's like, oh, man. Well, okay, so there's two. But one was more exciting in hindsight than the other. So the first one would be Michael Jordan, and it was more about like how I got to meet him. And it was this random gig that Nike reached out for me to do, where they were like, "Can you'll love this? Can you fly to Paris and do a thing with Michael Jordan for a Nike event?" I'm like, I'm already at the airport. Don't even ask. So I interviewed him. I did like a quick thing with him on a rooftop in Paris. That to me is surreal and was great. But it was very business and it wasn't as fun, right? Because the other guy is Pelé, and that was, my mother was born and raised in Italy. Soccer was the sport she loved most. He was the athlete she loved most. It was such a cool moment. The dude, I know kids use like the aura or whatever it is we're calling it today. He came in like a full linen suit, 3 phones, spoke Portuguese, Italian, English fluently. It was cool. It's just so cool. And so for me, that's probably my favorite athlete memory.
And that is Michelle Beadle joining us on the show today. She grew up in San Antonio. She is cheering for the Spurs tonight in Game 1. Michelle, I get to know a lot of cool people in this business. You were near the top of, I know Michelle Beadle.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm almost retired, buddy. So get these in as quickly as you can.
Absolutely. That is Michelle Beadle joining us on the show today. Happy to have her on the show. Rob, tell Michelle Beadle thank you, man. I'm happy that we get a chance to have Michelle Beadle come on the show. I don't just say that because she's on here. I used to absolutely love Sports Nation. I was a huge Sports Nation fan growing up. It was a really, really fun show. A very different show, I would say. There's not really a sports television show on TV quite like Sports Nation. Not anymore. Rob, did you watch that show? Was that a show you
I did.
partook back in the day?
I did. I liked that. I also liked I feel like liking Cold Pizza, which I know is not her show. Liking Cold Pizza.
Cold Pizza was a very different show than what First Take turned into.
It was what bore First Take, but like Cold Pizza in of itself was not what First Take is, and Cold Pizza was cool. I like that whole ESPN2 lineup. Don't get me wrong, ESPN, SportsCenter, Pardon the Interruption, all that stuff was great. But Cold Pizza, Sports Nation, Le Batard had the show for a while. Like there was some stuff they were doing different and fun on ESPN2, and I enjoyed those type of things. And you're right, it's not just a carbon copy of First Take, just 3 different ways.
Yeah, and I don't hate the debate shows the way that I think a lot of people say they hate the debate shows. Like I like hearing people argue and debate sports. That is still very much entertaining to me. I guess what turns me off at times about it is, A, you and I don't always agree about a certain thing in sports. I don't ever feel like our conversation crosses a line of disrespect or anger. Like, if you might be right, I'll be right. I don't know, ultimately. Like, we can just have these conversations in real time. And as we were talking to Michelle about, I wish that TV executives saw that there is room to have both kinds of argument. Like, sports can be lighthearted. There also are times to have serious discussions about a game, and there's also times to have the lighthearted discussions about the game where I don't know right now if there is that balance across the two. And that's a major reason why I think First Things First works. I'm not just saying that because Nick's on the show. I feel like that show does a little bit of everything. That show can be serious when it's time to be serious. The show's also lighthearted and fun. It's playful banter. The hosts actually seem like they like each other, and I know in real life they actually like each other. I think that's why the show works.
They also, calling it a bit is a diminishing return. I have it on back here, actually. You mentioned it. Like, right now on First Things First, Danny is in sunglasses and a leather jacket, and they keep dimming the lights, and he's like, here are the pack stat. Like, there's an element of laugh at yourself and be goofy. Like she said at the front of the interview, and I think it's very true, not that people care about what we do, and don't take yourself too seriously. And that's what made those shows like Cold Pizza and Sports Nation fun, is you had sports personalities that weren't worried about, oh man, am I going to get crushed for this take? They were just having fun and talking sports. And now it feels like the fun kind of got sucked out of the room at times, where First Things First, is bringing that back a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, we can wrap this up here. I'm just now taking a trip down memory lane. Like I don't know if we just like really understand the amount of talent that used to host SportsCenter back in the day. Like I pulled it up right now. Just listen to Keith Overman, Dan Patrick, Linda Cohn, Chris Myers, Stuart Scott, Rich Eisen, Charlie Steiner, Robin Roberts hosted, Chris Berman, Bob Lee, Craig Kilgore, Steve Levy, Kenny May, making it to SportsCenter at that point, not just being on the show, I mean hosting SportsCenter. You were sports royalty at a time. That's where we got the sports news from. That was living. Like, you read the newspaper, you read Whitlock or Poznanski or Wright Thompson. Like, the Star was just a behemoth at that point. But, I mean, they couldn't tell you about the updated trade that just happened in real time. You had to turn on ESPN. You had to turn on SportsCenter. So the first place you would hear about this and get reaction to what had happened was on SportsCenter. These people were the heroes. So, I mean, it's been cool in my profession. Like, I get a chance to know some of these people and talk to them over the course of doing this. But, yeah, I mean, it's never not going to be cool to me to have somebody like Michelle Beadle on the show.
I mean, if you can get the other half of Sports Nation on the show, we'd be really doing something.
Maybe one day.
No disrespect to Michelle Beadle. She was great. One day. But I mean, we're 500 right now. We'd love to bat 1,000.
Have I ever told you the Dan Patrick story?
Oh, yeah.
My Dan Patrick story?
You told me off the air. You never told me on the air.
I don't even told you guys this story. So this was maybe, I don't know, like 2 months ago. It was on a Sunday. I'll never forget. It was a Sunday. And I got a call. Now, I'm really big. If you have ever called me and we've had a conversation, I save your number on my phone. Just, oh, hey, let me save your number. Who knows? When I need it, you might need it. You might reach back out. Like, we have to have a very serious falling out for me not to save your number in my phone. So if your number's not saved, most of the time I don't know you. So it was a Sunday. It was a number I hadn't recognized. I didn't answer the phone. I then tried to text it just to see if it was an iPhone or not. It goes from green to blue, so it turned into blue. So I was like, oh, okay, this is an actual person that called. I was thinking if they want something, they'll text me or they'll call back. The number calls back instantly. I'm like, okay, well, who could this be? I answer the phone call, and it's, hey, Carrington, it's Dan Patrick. Now, I can't tell you exactly what I said, but I said, get out of here. He was like, yeah, seriously, it's Dan Patrick. And I was like, you could have gave me a million guesses. I would have never guessed that you would call me and we would have a conversation. And we talked for like 25 minutes. No, Dan Patrick, one day I hope he will come on the show. I mean, one day I'll ask him to come on the show. But yeah, Dan Patrick, secret friend of the show, Dan Patrick, I would say now. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
FanDuel is giving you even better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. And with more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From point spreads to player points to threes and so much more, you can build it all into one simple same-game parlay and go for an even bigger payout. So if you're betting a same-game parlay this NBA postseason, you can bet them with America's #1 sportsbook app with our friends over at FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. One more time, that's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips so you can check every stat, trend, and matchup all in one place. You can make your picks with confidence. Everything you need in just one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel right now, America's #1 sportsbook app and official partner of the NBA, and play your game. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Within the cities we call home, Busey Bank is more than a name. It's a commitment to your dreams. With Busey, trusted guidance is tailored to empower you every step of the way. Whether it's seamlessly managing your finances or planning for your future, Busey is dedicated to your financial success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
My home's my happy place, but I started to notice those fading colors and peeling paint. I needed a team that cared about the details as much as I do. The CertaPro painters exceeded my expectations. Their free estimate was incredibly detailed and easy to understand. They brought fresh color and quality craftsmanship to our home. Whether it's interior or exterior, protect your home with the best. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The world is coming to Kansas City. Is your parking lot ready? Over at Gann Asphalt and Concrete, they want to make sure that your business is inviting, that it's safe, and that, of course, your project is cost-effective, because they want to make sure that you're ready and that your business is ready before the world comes here. That's all possible over at Gann, who can handle any type of project your parking lot would need. That's because they're one contractor, all things parking lot. Check out their projects at GannAsphalt.com or give them a call at 816-688-3512.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Buckner's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Buckner'sHC.com. Buckner's is better. We've got the crash that is headed up towards Liberty. It's 35 northbound just past 69. Right lane is blocked prior to that. 435 northbound at 35. That's a 2-car crash blocking the left lane. We've got a stall. Looks like, big delays, a lot of red. 70 westbound at Blue Ridge cut off, affecting eastbound traffic as well. I'm with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I don't know why we in Kansas City, just as a group, as a team, I don't know why we can't get certain things right. Now, you guys know the iconic Western Auto sign. It has been in downtown since 1952. There's some, I don't know, controversy. The city wants to update the landmark. All of that makes sense, right? We got a whole bunch of visitors coming in, and we want to, show off Kansas City at its absolute best. Rob, can you explain to me how we didn't have this ready for the World Cup? Have you seen this story? Kansas City Western Auto sign will remain dark during the World Cup. This is from Fox 4. The legendary sign will not be relit in time for the World Cup due to months of negotiation and a newly finalized agreement aimed at bringing it back to life. The development comes as Kansas City prepares to welcome the world later on in the month. City leaders confirm a deal has finally been reached to restore the beloved sign. However, after negotiations began nearly a year ago, they will not have it in time for the World Cup. It could be back up by late summer after the World Cup is over. Rob, how did this happen? How did common sense not prevail in this conversation? And ultimately, somebody just put their foot down and say, hey, aren't we trying to be our best? You guys are doing all of this work downtown. The streetcar's up. FanFest is right here. Union Station's going to be going up. Liberty Memorial. This sign is Kansas City. Some people who are coming here for the World Cup in a couple of weeks, they will never come back to Kansas City. I don't say that like we won't do a good job, but people are coming from all over the world. I was just watching the news a couple of days ago. There's a group of people that rode a bike from Argentina to Kansas City to watch Messi play soccer. They rode a bike. I didn't even know that was possible, that you could do something like that. I had no clue you could even do something like that. We couldn't have the Western Auto sign up in time for the first game of the World Cup. They've known that the World Cup was coming for 2 years now. They've known this. How are they not ready? How are they not prepared? The sign still requires repairs and replacement light bulbs, a process expected to take 6 to 8 weeks. We can't get on that right now. The city, what are we doing? The people that run that building, what are we doing? I was thinking about moving in that building. I saw what the HOA fees were. The HOA fees, it ain't going to pay for this light. This is nonsense. You guys got to know this is nonsense. What are we doing here? How did this happen? If this is not the most Kansas City thing, more and more, it just starts to be clear. It really does. I make this analogy. Have you ever went over somebody's house or got in somebody's car and their life just started to make so much sense? Like, it just made so much sense. Whether they were super organized, whether they were super clean, whether it was not, their entire life made sense when you went over to their house or got in their car. I'm starting to see how we lost the Chiefs and the Royals. This wouldn't have happened in Kansas. No chance. There's no chance they wouldn't have figured this out in Kansas. They'd have had that sign up working. Roads would have been in great condition. Sign would have been shimmering like the first day it was up there. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. Maybe I'm the only one that cares about this. I can't believe this happened, Rob. You got any thoughts on this? Oh, Rob's talking to Kansas. He's trying to get his ticket situation figured out. My bad. Somebody says the IBEW offered to fix it for free 6 months ago. I mean, of course. Of course. Somebody else. C-Dot, get your boy Q on the line. We'll call him later. I don't get like an endless supply of Mayor Quentin interviews. I'm not saying I'm going to save them. You know what I mean? Let me save them up a little bit. I don't try to call him for everything.
Why would the HOA of that building say no to local IBEW?
I don't have a good answer, man. I'm serious. I don't know.
I'm not an HOA fan myself, but it just seems like for an iconic thing like that, you would want lit up for the World Cup.
That's what I'm just...
Maybe not every day, like, hey...
It doesn't make any sense to me how this happened. I do not understand it. I do not understand. I have absolutely no clue how... I would say there are certain landmarks of downtown Kansas City. The Western Auto sign is one of those landmarks. The same way that Union Station is a landmark, the Western Auto, Liberty Memorial. Again, I'm not saying they're all the same. I understand they have varying degrees of importance and significance and what they symbolize. But when you think of Kansas City skyline in downtown Kansas City, that sign is a part of the vision. So while we have people coming here, don't we want to show them everything that Kansas City has to offer? Don't we want to give them the full Kansas City experience? I want them to do all the Kansas City things on both sides of state line. This isn't a Missouri versus Kansas thing. If you're coming to Kansas City and you never plan on coming again, you need to figure out a way to get to Joe's. You need to figure out a way to get over there. That's part of what it is to be from here. That's part of what it is to be a local. Seeing the sign lit up is also part of the Kansas City experience. You guys couldn't get it figured out? And now it's going to be lit up? I don't care if it's lit up in August. I've seen the sign before. I don't care. This is ridiculous. I don't understand how this happened.
I mean... Kansas City doesn't have like the most iconic skyline of all time.
No.
But one of the things that is on their skyline that is of note is the Western Auto sign. It's like the prongs on top of the convention center. I don't know what else to call them. Pillars, whatever. The Western Auto sign. The Kauffman Center. These are the things that identify Kansas City via skyline. And yet, one of them is not going to be lit up for the World Cup.
I don't know, man.
What else are we just not going to have for the World Cup? We taking the Scout away?
Barbecue. They ain't going to say there ain't no ribs. They ain't going to say we ain't having no burn-ins. No sauce.
All those people outside of Messi's hotel right now, no barbecue.
No, I'm telling you.
Barbecue is closed.
I can't speak for every barbecue place. I know the people at Gates pretty well. Oh, they ready. They've been loading up for this moment. They've been getting ready. I can't believe it, bro. I'm stunned. I really am. I don't even have really much else to say. We might as well just finish this segment talking about the World Cup. I am starting to get excited about the World Cup.
Did you see Airbnbs are now reporting that people thought the late rush is starting to happen in Kansas City?
Yeah.
Now you're not. You're right. Get rich quick ain't happening.
Yeah, that time's over.
But there is a little bubbling of people starting to show up in town.
Yeah, I think you are starting to feel the energy shift to excitement. I don't really know what the next month is going to be like. I've absolutely no clue. Like, it might end up being the most incredible thing that ever happened. We might end up hating it. I have absolutely no clue. I feel like right now it is a build up to see what the Argentina game is like, and then we can kind of go from there. The Argentina game is the test to me. That's the biggest game they have of the group stage. It's not even close. You have the defending champion, Lionel Messi is in town. Everybody will want to do something World Cup. I'm not even a soccer fan. I can't even tell you who Argentina is playing for that game. I will make it a point to be somewhere to watch that. Wait, you're telling me Lionel Messi is playing at Arrowhead? Yeah, I'll watch that. I'll tune in. I'll be a part of that. I'm also keeping an eye on tickets. Ticket prices look like they're creeping down a little bit. I might end up going to multiple games. Somebody offered me tickets for the July 3rd. Now, I mean, it was a little bit more than I was willing to spend, but they offered me face for those tickets. I'm hoping to get a deal, though. I'm hoping to get a Rob Britton, do you know who I am deal. That's what I'm hoping to get.
You might get stuck with the Cristiano Ronaldo, do you know who I am pricing.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like you, I'll watch it on TV. I got no problems watching it on TV. You know what? It'll be a super regional experience is what it'll be. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel is giving you even better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. And with more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From point spreads to player points to threes and so much more, you can build it all into one simple same-game parlay and go for an even bigger payout. So if you're betting a same-game parlay this NBA postseason, you can bet them with America's #1 sportsbook app with our friends over at FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. One more time, that's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips so you can check every stat, trend, and matchup all in one place. You can make your picks with confidence. Everything you need in just one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel right now, America's #1 sportsbook app and official partner of the NBA, and play your game. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It is not hard to destroy a college.
Last season, the podcast Campus Files brought you stories of fraternity drug rings, stolen body parts, campus cults, and more.
And now, Campus Files is back for another season.
There's a guy screaming into his phone. He's like, I just saw Charlie Kirk get assassinated right in front of me.
Every week is a new episode and a new story.
It was so chaotic.
It's almost like a university under siege.
Listen to and follow Campus Files, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
He's a former coach with 2 sons who played professional basketball. Satch Sullinger's a competitive individual, but his golf game was suffering because of painful joints.
Right, that's real important, the golf game. Right, as we get older, we create these bad habits because we're relegated to hit a certain way.
QC Kinetics used regenerative treatments, all natural healing properties from Satch's own body, to restore those damaged joints and get his golf game back on track.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me, all natural. And that's what I'm about. I'm going to tell everybody why I'm better.
Oh, and by the way, looks like the competitive Satch is back.
We're all in the same boat, and I'm getting better, and I'm watching them stay old.
Go to QCKinetics.com. Get relief and your game back. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Hi, I'm Katie, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Daydreaming about bringing your engagement ring vision to life? As a jewelry consultant, I'm here to help. Compare ring styles side by side. They're in stock and ready to try on. Then customize it with an engraving or decorative crown. At Shane Company, there are so many ways to create your dream ring at your dream price. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com, because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
And
Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no... It's 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
The Kansas City Royals and Community Blood Center are teaming up for their annual Royals Weeks and Summer Blood Drive. Donate at any CBC location between now and June 14th, and you'll receive 2 redeemable ticket vouchers for a 2026 Royals home game while supplies last.
This report is brought to you by Bet365. Winning is everything.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by the Kansas City Auto Show this weekend, June 4th through 7th, Overland Park Convention Center. We've got a new crash for 35 westbound just before Metcalf. Right lane is blocked, and it looks like okay downtown. This is new. It's a crash. 4 cars, 70 eastbound just past 71. Left lane blocked there. I'm bound with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Follow this station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Text line 913-586-7965. We had this question earlier. One thing I've learned doing this is the Twitter people and the text line people and the Facebook, they're all different people. They all have different thoughts and beliefs and all of those things. So we had a question earlier today. I don't really remember how it began, but I said that I'd rather have Rashee Rice on my team than have Marvin Harrison Jr., and it was met with great resistance here at the office. I stand by that opinion. If you were saying for 2026, I'd rather have Rashee Rice on my team than have Marvin Harrison Jr., I kind of feel like, and I certainly get it, I understand why this has happened. I sort of feel like now people are overly down on Rashee Rice, where it all goes through a cycle. Before Rashee Rice got healthy, the tone was he was going to fly in and save the day with the Chiefs offense. They had a down year. He got in trouble again. I now feel people are on the opposite end of the spectrum with Rashee Rice, where I'm kind of right there on the middle. I still think contract year, if he can stay healthy, if he can ball out and put it together this year, you can still get a little bit of money. Now, it'll never be what it could have been. Yesterday, Drake London just signed a 4-year deal worth up to $141 million, and he got $100 million guaranteed. Rashee Rice has to be kicking himself like, I could have had that deal. He could have had the Drake London contract. If you look at the start that Drake London had, I mean, Rashee Rice in his first season had 938 yards. Drake London in his first season had 919 yards. They were similar in year one. Now, I get it. Drake London, higher draft pick coming out of school. He's a better receiver. I'm not debating that. Drake London has only had one season in which he has had over 1,000 yards. He's had one season that's been the case. And he just got $140 million. That could have been Rashee Rice, man. It wouldn't have been in the Chiefs uniform. It'd have been in somebody's uniform. That $140 million, that's gone. He'll never get that $140 million. I now feel like people have found the other extreme with Rashee Rice. I don't want to make it seem like I'm president of the fan club right now, but I do think sometimes one of my responsibility is to pick you up when you're down and also talk you down when you're too high. And we go through these waves of emotions. I remember before when Rashee Rice was just an idea in 2025 and he was suspended, he was going to come in, top 10 receiver, Chiefs are adding him to the offense, and now the shine has just kind of worn off Rashee Rice. I will always maintain all Rashee Rice has to do this season is just do what he did last year and double it. If he just doubles what he did last year, that would be 106 catches for almost 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. If he just took what he did in 8 games and does that in 17 games, he will have over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns and 100 catches next year. If he does that, that's a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. It's like a 1B number 2, but you get the point that I'm making here about Rashee Rice. So if somebody is in the business of selling Rashee Rice stock, I will buy it for this upcoming season. Now, I'm not buying it in 2027. This is not a long-term hold for me, but for this upcoming season, I put me in the camp of I'm a Rashee Rice believer.
Can you define believer for me? Because
I think you'll have 1,000 yards receiving.
Okay. I was going to say, let's put a number to it.
I would bet the over for Rashee Rice.
Which means you're probably betting the under on games missed.
Probably, yeah.
And I'm not talking about his off the field snafu. He was hurt. He's been hurt twice in his NFL career. That's a thing that happened.
I don't know last year, honestly. I don't know if he was hurt last year as much as at the end of the season when they were done, they just sat him.
I mean, they didn't do that with Worthy, though. So
that's fair. But you know me, I also don't think Worthy was as hurt as everybody else thinks that he is. I think people are using Worthy's injury as a crutch now and don't want to have the conversation about how he was disappointing last year. I think he was healthy enough to be decent last year, and I don't hear people making that same excuse right now for George Karlaftis, and we just found out earlier today George Karlaftis played with a broken hand the second half of the season. It's football. Guys are going to get hurt. Guys are going to get hurt if you're playing football, and part of playing football and being good at it is learning how to play through injury. It's unfortunate, but if you are missing time because of this and missing that, you cannot be a great football player ultimately if that ends up being the case. So that's just kind of how it goes. So the same way I'm not making excuses for George Karlaftis last year, I think I've been pretty consistent. I'm not making those excuses for Xavier Worthy either.
Do you think the text line will start making those excuses for George Karlaftis? Because just yesterday, I was sitting here defending Karlaftis, and everyone called him, not that good, overrated, blah, blah, blah. Now that we find out he had a broken hand, do you think he's going to get that Xavier Worthy level of protection, or is he a different category?
I don't think he is, which I think is a very interesting thing because George Karlaftis played in exactly one more game than Xavier Worthy did last year. Xavier Worthy played in 14 games last year. George Karlaftis played in 16 games, started in 15 of them. So George Karlaftis played a lot last year. Now, broken hand, your defensive lineman, I don't like these conversations about injuries because we make it seem like Xavier Worthy is going to go through 2026 100% healthy. Nothing's going to happen. It's football. That's why I hate he only got hurt because of who cares why you got hurt. You got hurt. It's football. Guys are going to run into each other. Bodies are going to be flying. You're tackling each other. You're running at incredible speeds. Somebody's going to bump into you, whether it's on your team or not. There's going to be some friendly fire in the game. All right, special thanks to Danny Parkins for being on the show. Thank you to Michelle Beadle, who was also on the show. Be sure to check out the podcast page if you missed anything. We will be watching Game 1 of the NBA Finals with